What's going on? Back again. Gonna catch up on some news today. We've been slacking on the news as of recent, but catch up with some Trump announcements, and then probably finish on some AI stuff, which we've been covering a lot of as of recent. But Bernie Sanders came out and was sounding the alarm on AI, and I thought that was interesting considering we've been covering the topic recently. So probably do that at the end here. But let us jump into this.
Big announcement. We have a lot of big announcements. They're sort of all big announcements, actually. It's wonderful to be in the Oval Office. I think you probably like it the best. You like it the best for press conferences? I sort of do. But today I'm excited to announce another historic achievement in our quest to lower drug prices for all Americans. Prices have come way down. We've gotten prices way down for groceries, for oil especially. Today we broke $60 a barrel. We think the oil is going to be under $2 a gallon very soon. That's about 70% lower than what it was just a year ago. So that's a big thing. And when the oil comes down, everything comes down. It's pretty beautiful to watch. AstraZeneca, the largest pharmaceutical manufacturer in the United Kingdom, is committing to offer Americans major discounts on their vast catalog of prescription drugs, one of the great companies, by the way, and a most favored nation's pricing clause. So most favored nation is you're going to pay whatever the lowest price anywhere in the world is. That's what you're going to be paying. And I had it going very well in my first term, but we were interrupted by a rigged election, so I was unable to carry it forward. We started it, but this was something one of the reasons I wanted to run again was we had to have favored nations where the world is not going to be paying just a tiny fraction of what we were paying. I want to thank CEO Pascal Soriot, a very highly respected, one of the most respected men in business and certainly in the industry, for joining us today, as well as Secretary Howard Lutnick, Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., CMS Administrator Mehmet Oz, FDA Commissioner Marty McCary, and Virginia Governor, a man who's done an incredible job, and good luck with the upcoming election. I know you're working very hard. I watch you. You're right there. He's out there working. He wants to see that young woman win, and the Attorney General, who I endorsed, et cetera, et cetera. Glenn Youngkin. Thank you very much, Glenn. Thank you for being here. For many years, Americans have paid the highest prices anywhere in the world for prescription drugs by far, many times the amount that other countries are paying is ridiculous. Upon taking office, I signed an executive order to make sure that Americans pay no more for prescription medications than the lowest price for the same drug in other locations in developing nations. Today, AstraZeneca is committing to offer all of their prescription medications to Medicaid at most favored nations prices. In other words, the lowest price anywhere in the world, that's what we get. A move that will save American taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars each year. And I tell the story, Glenn, that in my first term, I had the honor of being the first president in 28 years to lower drug prices during the course of the year. And we actually did, and I was so proud of myself. We called a news conference. I announced it. It was 1/8 of 1%. 1/8 of 1%. Now drug prices are going to be going down 100%, 400%, 600%, 1,000% in some cases. But for 1/8 of a cent, Bobby, think of that. I was so proud because for 28 years, nobody had done it. And now it's, I think back to that, I said I shouldn't have had that news conference, but it is true. I was the only one that did it, but it was not very much. And now we're going to get, in some cases, 1,000% reduction. This is going to have a huge impact on everything from Social Security to Medicare to Medicaid, anything where they're buying any prescription drugs. It's going to have an incredible impact. It's going to lower itself greatly. AstraZeneca will also list many of their most popular drugs online at TrumpRx.gov. TrumpRx. I don't know why they put the name Trump. I did not tell them to do it, but I'm honored to let them do it. That's true, actually. That heavily reduced most favored nations cost. Americans can expect discounts, and as I said, it could be in many cases way over 100%. And as an example, one particular drug that's hot, very hot, 654% on inhalers, COPD and asthma, as well as certain diabetics medications. They're going to be averaging about 654% reduction in price. You believe that one? The Democrats will say, well, he should have gotten more. It's crazy. In addition, all medications AstraZeneca introduces to the American market going forward will also be sold at these heavily discounted rates. Furthermore, AstraZeneca will invest $50 billion in the United States over the next 5 years for research and development of new drugs and to onshore manufacturing facilities across the country, like the new plant that broke ground yesterday in Charlottesville, Virginia, where the governor attended. They had a tremendous group of people attending. It's going to have 3,600 jobs just to begin with. And that's going to be a fantastic plant. I saw a picture. It's going to be the best, right? You can't get any better. This is a tremendous victory for Virginia and for American patients and for everything, for the country. It's an amazing company to have coming over to the United States in such a big way. That's going to be a big part of the company. Presidents have promised for years to lower the cost of health care. But my administration is actually the first to do it and do it substantially, do it at numbers that nobody thought, even I thought were not possible. When you think of it, if you got a 1%, 2%, 5%, that's good. You did a good job. We're talking about 100, 200, 300, 500, 700 in some cases, some big, big numbers. And the largest drug companies in the world are working with us to make this a reality. And so I look forward to being at your opening of that incredible facility. I hear something, and it's in a great location, Len, right? One of the beautiful locations. So I'd now like to ask Secretary Kennedy to say a few words, followed by Dr. Oz, Pascal, Governor Youngkin, and we'll take some questions afterwards. Would anybody like to have some questions? Yes? Oh, I'm shocked. Okay, we'll take them right after, okay? Bobby, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I talked about this a little yesterday in the cabinet meeting, but it's worth repeating because it shows this historical achievement is really monumental. When I was in my confirmation process, virtually every Democratic senator showed me their preoccupation with making sure that we completed, that I was going to continue to get a commitment from me to continue the IRA drug price negotiations. That the IRA required the Democrats, while President Biden was in the first year of the IRA, to negotiate 10 drug prices down. And then I was supposed to, my first year, negotiate 15 and 15 every year thereafter, and that was their plan. The Democrats claimed that they had a 22% reduction, and that was a great success. When we actually looked at that, when I came into the agency, we realized we were actually paying more for 8 of the 10 drugs. The 22% reduction was off of list price, and Medicare ended up paying more for 8 of the drugs, equal for the 9th, and about a 2% discount on the 10th drug. So that was the plan, and that's what they did. We are continuing the IRA negotiations, but thanks to the president's leadership, we have achieved something extraordinary here, which is a dream that he's had for 20 years because he's the common sense president. He saw something 20 years ago. He learned that we were paying 3, 4, 5, sometimes 10 times for the same drug as they were paying in European countries. Some of these drugs were manufactured in facilities in New Jersey and then sold for 1/10 the price in Great Britain, in London or Paris, that Americans were being charged for them here. He saw that this was unfair. Every Democratic president, every Republican president has said that this was the gold standard. This is what we needed to do. Nobody's been able to change it. And when we came in, I have to say I was pessimistic about doing MFN. Dr. Oz was pessimistic, our staff, John Brook and Chris Klump and the other people we brought in were all pessimistic. The president saw something that we didn't see, which is we had leverage, and that came through Howard and the tariffs, and we had extraordinary leverage to craft these deals. So last week we had Pfizer in, which is one of the biggest American pharmaceutical companies. Today we have AstraZeneca in with Pascal Soriot, which is one of the biggest European pharmaceutical companies. And the president asked us to do three things. One, to get MFN prices. Two, to not bankrupt these companies. He understood that America has to be the center for innovation. The drug industry needs to innovate, that it's critical for its bottom line, it's critical for the health of the American people. And he asked us also to make sure that those companies would keep their promise to reshore this industry. For national security purposes, for our economy, it's critical. These companies are making these drugs in the United States. We were able to achieve all those things, and partially with the visionary help of Pascal, where is he? Of Pascal Soriot, who understood that innovation and the business doesn't work if everybody is not pulling the oars, if everybody doesn't have the skin in the game. Oh, the whole world was riding on our shoulders and riding on our dime. 70% of pharmaceutical revenues comes from this country. We only have 4.2% of the world's population, and we were paying for 80 or 90% of the innovation here, and the rest of the world was a free rider. And Pascal understood that that's not fair, and it's not a good, sustainable, long-term business model. And he came to the table. He was one of the first leaders to come to the table. I want to thank him for his vision, for operating with us in good faith. And this is an extraordinary deal. Not only that, but as the president just pointed out, he is also reshoring this industry here. He has 19 facilities already operating in this country. He has this other facility in Albemarle County that Dr. Oz went with Governor Youngkin and broke ground on yesterday. He has a second facility that is under construction in Kendall Square in Boston, another facility in Rockville, Maryland, and a fourth facility in Copper, Texas, right outside of Dallas-Fort Worth. And he's got plans for building many more in this country, thanks to the president's leadership, to the tariffs, and to the common sense the president has demonstrated in his own commitment to make drug prices lower for hardworking Americans. So I want to thank the president for your visionary leadership. I want to thank Dr. Oz for his part, and Marty McCary in negotiating this deal. Dr. Heidi Overton, Theo Merkel, Chris Klump, and John Brooks, who all played critical parts in the negotiation. And of course, Howard Lutnick, who was the key to these negotiations. Who do we bring up now? Dr. Oz.
Thanks, Secretary.
He'll take your place, Pascal.
Oh, Pascal, I get to introduce Pascal, which I'll do with great joy and honor. So the world is watching as President Trump tries to make peace in every place he can go. But at the same time, President Trump is putting peace into the hearts of Americans and bringing peace of mind to them, especially Americans who cannot afford their medications. And just to put a number on this, as he releases us from the bondage of paying 3 times more for the exact same product made in the same factory, in the same pill box, in the same instruction manual overseas, rather in this country than we pay overseas, it creates an opportunity for us because, Mr. President, you're turning the art of the deal into the art of the heel. And that is something that you're going to witness today. And it's the second, we have more coming, but this is a very important one because I want to set the stage here. And Ms. Secretary, you're too modest. Secretary Kennedy did have a vision to push hard on this. He understood we could give the right medications to the right people at the right time. And there is nothing more maha than giving folks life-saving medications in a timely fashion so you prevent illnesses and treat other ones that have already occurred. You save lives that way. That literally is what was on the line as we began negotiating these. So let's set the stage. Where are we right now? Why this order? Last week in this very room, President Trump welcomed the CEO of Pfizer, and that company a leading U.S. pharmaceutical company, pledged to provide exactly what the president promised. Massive discounts to allow us to have most favored nation drug pricing in this country so we don't allow our people to pay more than folks overseas. And this was unthinkable even 6 months ago, 7 months ago, when we came into office. And Americans now have the ability to do that, but we needed to prove it was scalable. So we went to AstraZeneca, which is the leading pharmaceutical company, a leading company in the entire world, but a massive opportunity in this march to MFN, a march to most favored nation drug pricing. And to have this message land clearly, we needed to make sure that the president's demand for fair drug pricing was heard all around the globe. And I actually think the single most powerful tool we had was the president, because people take him seriously. And some of the things that they were hearing overseas were alarming them enough that they began to realize the jig was up. So let's talk about the deal specifically. John Brooks, if you give me my Vanna White, please. John back there is Theo, Vince, Heidi were parts of the team. There are other members of the team I'll speak of in a second. So these are the 5 deal points. This is what Trump RX, by the way, which just launched, TrumpRx.gov, which was a unanimous name, by the way, Mr. President. He was not involved in picking the name, but it was not a difficult one to land on. We thought it had a catchy element to it. All primary care medications sold by AstraZeneca are going to be available on Trump RX, which means no more gaming, no more middlemen. Starting early next year, when you go to the website, you'll be able to see a marketplace. We're not selling the drugs. We're just making information available to everyone so you go to the right place to buy the right medication. Second, drugs for lung diseases are discounted massively, and that's over here on this line. The president highlighted 650%. They're significant discounts, and these are medications. We just picked the ones for lung disease and one for metabolic syndrome, diabetes, but there are others that are included. We have most favored nation pricing for everyone who is on Medicaid in this country. That's why Governor Youngkin is able to do backflips with his nimble 6'6" physique. Because for governors, this is a massive problem. If Medicaid prices continue going up, it crowds out other social services, which he'll speak to. We also have MFN for all new prescription drugs. Mr. President, by the time this term is done, 95% of all drugs sold in America, branded drugs and generic, will be available at a most favored nation drug pricing. Americans are going to benefit if the prices drop abroad. So Secretary Lutnick is going to make sure that if we get better prices for these companies from our partner countries overseas, the American people see those benefits, and there's going to be onshoring of manufacturing. And as has been mentioned, I stood with Governor Youngkin and Pascal Soriot as we broke ground yesterday in Charlottesville, Virginia, a massive $4 billion facility. That's the hard hat, Mr. President. I know you like construction, so that was all I could bring back. But there was a lot of remarkable energy. And here's what that event really does. It sends a signal. It sends a signal for all countries around the world to stop freeloading off American innovation. It's done. It's not going to happen anymore with this president. And if you aren't picking up your end of the bargain, then you're going to be welcoming a lot of more companies to leave your shores and allow us to welcome them into our shores as they open up manufacturing facilities here. And for all the pharmaceutical companies out there, we're talking to all of you, pick up a shovel. This is a great place to build a facility, as AstraZeneca has shown us, and I think it has a wonderful opportunity in the future as well as this country continues to support the innovation Secretary Kennedy spoke about, because we're not compromising that at all. We're just getting fair prices for the American people. To the team, tough negotiations, Mr. President. You know how hard they can be. You can't get there without world-class negotiators, and we are blessed by individuals to work with the...
Is there anybody in chat that is against this? And if so, why?
AstraZeneca team, who are killers, head-to-head. And why? Because talented people out of the private sector are coming into government to serve this president in a generational opportunity that they feel in their heart will make a difference. John Brooks is part of that team. Chris Klump, Inma Hernandez, numerous other folks contributed as well. But we're open for business. And if you want a great position and a patriot, like the folks who negotiated these deals, please consider coming with us, because the president has made it clear that you will make a difference in government. Finally, I want to thank Pascal Soriot. Pascal is an interesting, almost enigmatic individual. He's the CEO of AstraZeneca. He is born in France, Australian citizen, knighted in Great Britain, running their largest pharmaceutical company. So you figure out the lineage. But one thing I know is a very, very smart man who came here early on, took the president seriously, and he recognized the inherent unfairness of the European model of global freeloading off our innovation. He appreciated the challenge, and he wanted to be part of the solution. So Pascal, take it away.
Thank you so much. So, President Trump, it is really a pleasure to see you again since I had a chance to meet you last time you visited the UK for your state visit. I know the King actually kept you late during the night, during your visit, late up at night. And I must thank you actually for returning the favor. I can tell you you've kept me up at night and my team as well. But it has been really worth it. It's been worth it because today I'm really excited to announce AstraZeneca's commitment to your vision for a healthy America. Great leadership is about having an ambitious vision that can energize people, and you appoint a very talented team that can deliver on this. Your vision is exactly that. It is about lowering the price of medicines for American patients while ensuring that America remains a global powerhouse of innovation in biopharmaceuticals. And that's not easy to do. We need to keep inventing the technologies and the products that will cure disease. But you actually gave us a key, equalization. That's an important word. Yeah. You've assembled a remarkable team, actually, that together with us found a way to deliver on your vision. I would like to thank you, Mr. President, for your collaborative and your trusting approach throughout the discussion that led to this agreement. In addition, I would like to thank Secretary Lutnick, I'd like to thank Secretary Kennedy, Dr. Oz, and the CMS team, in particular John Brooks, who is here today, but also Chris Klump, for their very straightforward approach and their collaborative work that, together with my great team at AstraZeneca, enabled us to deliver this agreement today. It is an agreement that allows a number of wins. First of all, a great win for American patients. This agreement will deliver improved access to our medicines at a lower cost. We've addressed the 4 points that you raised in your letter, ensuring Americans do not pay more than patients in other wealthy countries. So it's a big win for patients and the healthcare system as a whole. But it's also a big win for the economy and for taxpayers, because it supports rebalancing the cost of innovation across wealthy nations. For too long, America has shouldered a disproportionate portion of the world's R&D cost for breakthrough medicines development. That imbalance is not sustainable. It had to change. And equalization levels the playing field, with wealthy nations contributing their fair share to the cost and the risk associated with biopharmaceuticals R&D. And I would say it's also a big win for state budgets because these Medicaid price reductions will have an immediate impact on Medicaid budgets and provide substantial relief to state budgets. Finally, your vision also secures America's strong position in life sciences and the onshoring of critical innovations and manufacturing. As a company, we will invest $50 billion in manufacturing and in R&D. We already have a large presence in the United States. We have 19 sites, and we employ 25,000 people around the country. They're all developing the new generation of medicines. But we'll continue to increase our presence in this country. We're expanding our manufacturing footprint in Texas. We're building our second large R&D center in Kendall Square in Boston. We are building a cell therapy manufacturing plant in Rockville, Maryland, and there's more to come. So a lot of investment over the next few years. I want to say that I appreciate very much Secretary Lutnick granting us a 3-year tariff exemption to localize the remainder of our products. Most of our products are locally manufactured, but we need to transfer the remaining part to this country. And also for your great support to convince also other wealthy countries to share the cost of pharmaceutical innovation. It is an important part of this agreement, rebalancing and the cost around the country, around the world. Yesterday showcased our commitment to the United States with this $4.5 billion investment in the beautiful Commonwealth of Virginia to manufacture what we call API, active ingredients for our medicines, but also antibody-drug conjugates that are such a critical part of the future treatment of cancer care, what is called smart chemotherapy, targeted chemotherapy. I want to thank Dr. Oz for joining us for the groundbreaking ceremony near Charlottesville, together with Governor Youngkin. And I actually love your AstraZeneca hat. I know you wanted to bring a shovel, but didn't make it to this beautiful room. I have to say it has been a great pleasure to work with Governor Youngkin and his team, in particular Secretary Segura, on this investment. Like you, President Trump, they are deal makers that move at the speed of business. And it's very important for us company to be able to work with people who understand who we are and move very fast. Our new facility will be a great example of Virginia supporting domestic production of medicines for America, enhancing national security in pharmaceutical supply, but also creates thousands of highly skilled jobs. Governor Youngkin gave me a beautiful Virginia flag that we will proudly fly alongside the American flag in front of our new facility. So AstraZeneca's commitment to the United States is very strong, and this agreement ensures we'll make an even bigger difference for American patients. So, Mr. President, thank you again for welcoming me in this beautiful office and for making this moment possible. Thank you so much.
Pascal. Thank you very much.
Over to you, Glenn.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank everyone for celebrating this landmark moment. This landmark moment is not just a moment to announce a new way to buy less expensive life-saving medicine, but it is a step function change in the way that Virginians and Americans can access medicines. And it is a step function change because historically there was an opaque pricing mechanism that had so many people standing between the manufacturers and the patients that no one knew really what it cost. Well, now we can go direct to consumers. And that's what Trump RX is all about, going direct to consumers, where a consumer can come and find that particular medication that they need and go direct to the company and get the best possible price. Second of all, the most favored nation clause is a groundbreaking moment. It's a groundbreaking moment because, as you've heard, that American customers have been paying 3, 4, 5 times what international customers have been paying. That is just not fair. And Mr. President, I want to thank you for simply recognizing that America must come first. And Americans deserve the best pricing, not the worst. It changes everything for a state. In Virginia, we have $1.5 billion a year of pharmaceutical expenditure under our Medicaid plan. $1.5 billion a year. We save 10%, 20%, 30%. All of a sudden, 150, 300 million, 450 million in savings can be realized by a state. Now, I firmly believe that's the people's money, and it should go back in tax relief. But think about the change that that enables for a state as they manage their health care expenditures. Finally, Mr. President, you have driven a reshoring of critical supply chains that no one thought could happen. The industries that everyone thought were lost are now coming home, and with pharmaceutical manufacturing and active pharmaceutical ingredients particularly coming back to America, it changes everything. It's an economic moment for us. Yes, $4.5 billion into the Virginia economy, and that will in fact translate into $3 or $4 of extra economic impact for every dollar that is spent, 3,600 great paying jobs. But it's even more than that. This is a national security moment. And what you've just heard is one of the leading pharmaceutical companies in the world is choosing America, and yes, Virginia, to invest nearly $5 billion to build the most critical manufacturing for the future of America's health. That's not just a single example. It's happening all over. And in fact, in Virginia, Mr. President, we've been blessed with nearly $10 billion of commitments to build new pharmaceutical manufacturing in the great Commonwealth of Virginia. And therefore, I believe this is a moment to celebrate investment, but more importantly, to celebrate breakthroughs for American citizens to get access to life-saving medicines at costs that they deserve because they're all made here. Mr. President, you and your cabinet have been amazing. As a governor, I have found that the cooperation with every one of your cabinet members, and sir, yes, you, has been beyond compare that I could ever imagine. I want to thank you for helping us make Virginia great again, too. Thank you.
So we have, at this moment, I think we just cracked $18 trillion in commitments and investments in our country. As an example, the last administration was far less than $1 trillion for 4 years. We're at plus $18 trillion for 8 months. There's never been anything like it in history, in any country, anywhere in the world. So that's great. But maybe for purposes of this, more importantly, we're going to bring drug prices down at numbers that nobody ever thought possible, Glenn. I think nobody ever even thought it was possible. So we're going to be doing a lot of business, but we're going to be also numbers that when you're 2, 3, 4, 500% less. I just noticed one of them over here, 654% discount. 654. The laggard is 98%, right? 9, is that what? Wow, it's 96, 230%, but 654, and we have some that top that by a lot. So it's really going to be incredible, and that's going to be so good for Medicaid and Medicare and everything. Frankly, for your life, it's going to be so good. So nobody ever thought they were going to see. And don't let Democrats take the credit, because they'll try. They'll say, "Oh, we worked so hard on it." They didn't work hard. They did. They obstructed. They actually did the opposite. So that's really more important than even the tremendous investments being made in our country. But think of it, we cracked 18 trillion with a T, trillion dollars. And frankly, 1 trillion for 4 years wasn't that bad. He did less than a trillion, but we did that in a period of 8 months. So it's pretty record shattering by many trillions of dollars. Any country, no matter what country you're talking about, nobody's done numbers like that. So thank you all for being here. Do you want to have a couple of questions? Yeah, please.
Mr. President, one on this, if I could, one on China, if I may. First on this, could you have brought these pharmaceutical companies to the table without that 100% tariff which you imposed?
Well, it's not 100%. You're talking about China might be 100%.
No, I'm talking about the 100% you imposed on pharmaceuticals for that sector.
I would never have been able to bring them. Now, I'm not sure that Pascal would like to say, but behind the scenes he did say tariffs were a big reason he came here, and also the fact he loved Virginia. He liked this guy. He liked me. I think the November 5th election was a very important date. We had a good election, and that was important. But yeah, he's here. A lot of. I can speak for almost everybody that's here. Most of them are here because of tariffs, because you have to understand he has no tariffs. If you build in this country, there are no tariffs. So.
Let me ask you about China, if I could. Just want to confirm: have you canceled your meeting with President Xi? And
no, I haven't canceled, but I don't know that we're going to have it. But I'm going to be there regardless, so I would assume we might have it. But they hit the world with something that really is not anything that people are going to do, and it was shocking. I can tell you, Howard and I and Todd, we all Scott, we were all speaking about it before, and we said, where did that come from? It was just, that was out of the blue, right? Out of the blue, they came up with this whole import-export concept, and nobody knew anything about it. So.
If they roll back their export controls, the new announcement, would you roll back?
Look, we're going to have to see what happens. That's why I made it November 1st. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
Mr. President, the last time, Mr. President.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like anybody in chat has issue with this in particular.
Please.
What else besides software could be on the table in terms of export controls?
A lot more. I mean, you have software, but you have a lot more. We have airplanes. We have airplane parts. You remember that from last time. And we were just surprised at China. I have a very good relationship with President Xi, and they did that. This is not something that I, instigated. This was just a response to something that they did. And they didn't really aim it at us. They aimed it at the whole world. The whole world is subject to it. So I thought it was very, very bad. But we have many things, including a big thing is airplane. They have a lot of Boeing planes, and they need parts and lots of things like that. Steve?
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to accept the Gaza deal, and what will be your message to the Knesset when you speak to them?
Well, he wanted it. It's been a long time. He's been fighting a long time. He's been fighting hard. He wanted it. It's a great deal for Israel, but it's a great deal for everybody, for Arabs, for Muslims, for everybody, for the world. And as you know, on Monday the hostages come back. They're getting them now. I mean, they're getting them now. They're in some pretty rough places under earth. They're in some pretty rough places where only a few people know where they are, in some cases. So they're getting them, and they're also getting the bodies, approximately 28 bodies. And some of those bodies are being unearthed right now as we speak. I mean, they're working on it right now as we speak. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. No, he was very happy with it. And I can tell you that I saw Israel dancing in the streets, but they were dancing in Qatar and Saudi Arabia and UAE and many, many countries. I saw Egypt. They were dancing. I'll be going to Israel. I'll be speaking at the Knesset, I think, early on. And then I'm also going to Egypt. They were terrific. But all of the countries were great. Indonesia was great. Jordan was great. They were all great. Everybody wants this deal to happen.
What happens in Gaza the day after the hostage release?
Day after what?
The day after the hostage release, what happens there then?
Well, hopefully you're going to have great success I call it everlasting success. I think you will too. I think you're going to have tremendous success, and Gaza is going to be rebuilt. And you have some very wealthy countries, as you know, over there. And it would take a small fraction of their wealth to do that. But and I think they want to do it. And we're also setting up, as you know, a board of peace. It's called the Board of Peace. I don't know if that's the final name, but the word peace is definitely in there. They have asked me if I chair it. We'll make sure things go well.
And how confident are you that the ceasefire will hold?
I think it'll hold, yeah. I think it'll hold. They're all tired of the fighting. Don't forget, you had October 7th, which was a horrible day, 1,200 people killed. But Hamas has lost 58,000 people. That's big retribution. That's big retribution. People understand that. So, no, I think they're all tired of fighting. And this really gives the whole Middle East, this is beyond Gaza. Gaza is very important, but this is beyond Gaza. This is peace in the Middle East, and it is a beautiful thing. You know, it's a term that you and I have been hearing since we were very young, right? And now we have a chance of really having that. And as you know, most of the countries have passed all these resolutions. Every country is there. Iran came in. I was very happy to see that. I was very honored that Iran came in. They said they support it. Russia came in. President Putin, he supports it fully, very fully. So I was happy to see even countries that weren't necessarily involved in the process, they all support it. I don't know of anybody that does it. And I've never seen happier people than many of these places, not just Israel, many of these places. They're all dancing in the streets. I've never seen anything like it. Yeah, go ahead, please, in the back.
Thank you. What guarantees did you give Hamas to persuade them that Israel will restart the bombing campaign once the hostages have been exchanged?
What did I do with respect to them? Well, you know, I spoke a little bit tough, and that's what would happen. I mean, you have to speak tough. That's a tough world. That's a tough, as they say, neighborhood. And they're tough people. They're very tough people, and they're smart people. They're good negotiators. They have a lot of things going. They put that to good use. They're going to be very, very successful. But they knew the retribution would be tremendous, unsustainable. It would have been unsustainable. It would have been complete obliteration, and they didn't want that. And nobody wants it at this point. They want to get on with rebuilding the entire Middle East. It's not only Gaza. It's going to be the entire Middle East. They're going to be able to live in peace. Now we have some little hot spots, but they're very small. You know the ones I'm talking about. They're very small. They'll be very easy to put out. Those fires are going to be put out very quickly. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. President. Talking about the Middle East still, going to the phases that come after this first phase, is there a consensus on the additional points in your plan, or are the details still being fine-tuned?
I think there is consensus on most of it, and some of the details, like anything else, will be worked out, because you'll find out that when you're sitting in a beautiful room in Egypt, it's easy to work something out, but then sometimes it doesn't work from a practical standpoint. So certain little things, but for the most part, there's consensus, yes.
Do you intend to hash that out when you're in Egypt?
I might, yeah. I mean, I'll be there because I'll be going to, I'll go to Cairo. I think that's where we're going, as opposed to the place of the signing. And we have a lot of leaders from all over the world coming too. You know, they've been invited. And then I'm coming back, I believe it's Tuesday night, for Charlie Kirk, a friend of mine, a friend of all of ours, a friend of a lot of the people right here. And we're giving him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is the highest honor you get outside of the Congressional Medal of Honor. One's military, one's civilian, but it's the greatest honor. And Eric, his beautiful wife, is going to be here, and a lot of people are going to be here. So, you know, it's not easy for me to get back. It's a very quick trip, but I'll be making 2 major stops, and then I'll be on the plane trying to get back in time for Charlie. They're going to have a great celebration at the White House, in the East Room of the White House.
Mr. President, Russell Vogt said the reductions in force have begun related to this shutdown. How many layoffs have you authorized for this first round, and from which agencies?
And it'll be Democrat-oriented, because we figure, you know, they started this thing, so they should be Democrat-oriented. It'll be a lot, and we'll announce the numbers over the next couple of days, but it'll be a lot of people, all because of the Democrats. I mean, they want to give $1.5 trillion to people that came into the country illegally. More important than that, because we all have a big heart. We want people to be taken care of, but you know, we have 0 people coming in. You know that, Glenn, right? That's a pretty impressive number, even for a successful governor. But we've had, for the last 4 months, 0 people coming in illegally. They're coming in, but they're coming in legally. They're coming in through a process that's really a really good process right now, because we want people to come in, but they have to come in legally. So what we're doing is, as these different groups come due, we're going to make a determination. Do we want them or not? And I must tell you, a lot of them happen to be Democrat-oriented. These are people that the Democrats wanted, that in many cases were not appropriate. We fought them at the time, and it was ultimately signed in. And some of these people, these are largely people that the Democrats want. Many of them will be fired. Yes, please, behind.
The Nobel Peace Prize was announced this morning. Your thoughts?
Which one?
The Nobel Peace Prize. Your thoughts?
Look, including a very big one, and I'm not sure, you know, when you say big, it's certainly, I think, to the mind of most, the most important deal ever made in terms of peace. But the one we just signed, it's been signed, sealed, and it's going to start taking place now. It's already started. Monday's going to be a very big day when the hostages come back. But I made 8 deals, transactions of wars. One was 31 years going on. 10 million people were killed. One was 34 years. One was 36, 37. One was 10. One was just starting. 2 were just starting, actually, but they were well on their way. In the case of India and Pakistan, 7 planes were shot down. It was a bad one. And I did it largely through trade. I mean, that one, numerous of them. I talked tariffs. I said, look, if you're going to do that, we're going to put very big tariffs on your country. And they were both great. They stopped fighting, and there were 2 nuclear powers. So, you know, they're all big. They're every one of them big. You take a look at the Congo. You take a look at the Congo and Rwanda. 10 million people killed over a long period of time. Got that one solved. We did a total of 8 as of this 2 days ago. I would have said 7, which I did say, but the other one was signed up, sealed. As you know, Israel signed it just now. They signed it and they approved it today, their parliament. And it's a great honor to be involved with so many. So the person who actually got the Nobel Prize called me and said, I'm accepting this in honor of you because you really deserved it. A very nice thing to do. I didn't say then give it to me, though. I think she might have. She was very nice. And I've been helping her along the way. They need a lot of help in Venezuela. It's a basic disaster. So, and you could also say it was given out for 24, and I was running for office in 24. You know, all of the transactions that we did in terms of closing. But there are those that say we did so much that they should have done it. But I'm happy because I saved millions of lives, many millions of lives. And speaking of somebody that saves lives, don't ever play golf with it, because Keegan Bradley just walked in, one of the greatest golfers in the world, the captain of the Ryder Cup. And man, I'll tell you, you did a good job. You almost came back. I turned on. I said, I sort of turned off. It wasn't looking good. And then a little while later, I turned on. I said, "You guys might make that would have been the miracle." What a great job! He's respected by those golfers like nobody, and I just want to compliment you, Keegan. That was an incredible job. Right here, we have a lot of unfriendly fake news media, and he's not used to that. He's used to getting only good publicity, I think, Howard. These are all golfers. But you're some golfer, I'll tell you that, and some leader. Thank you very much. Great job. Thank you, Keegan.
Mr. President, on China.
Yeah, please.
On immigration, ICE are making arrests, targeted arrests at courthouses in New York City and around the country.
Criminals, arresting criminals, that's right. Yeah, go ahead. I'm happy about it. I want them to arrest criminals. And if you take a look at D.C., a year ago, D.C. was our great capital was a very unsafe place. You know that. Some of you were mugged and talk openly about it. Some of the media was mugged. But right now, D.C. is one of the safest places in the whole country. The restaurants are booming. They're opening up new restaurants. The restaurants are all closing. Now you can't get into a restaurant. They're opening up new restaurants. It took 12 days for us. We sent in not politically correct military. We sent them in based on merit. You know, we won the case in the Supreme Court. Everything now is based on merit. Our country was founded on things based on merit. Like Keegan Bradley's not going to be playing golf if he wasn't a great player. If he shoots lower scores, there's no more merit system than that one, Keegan, right? If you miss a putt, they don't say, "Oh, that's okay, let's take it again," do they? No, it's based on merit. Everything's based on merit. And we're back to the merit system. And when they saw that military is all about merit. They're big, strong people that they're patriots too. And you take a look at D.C., and now we're in Memphis, and Memphis was really crime-ridden. It was terrible. A lot of people being killed. And they say in 12 days they can't even believe how much better it is. And it'll take probably a month over there, and we're heading to Chicago because we want to save Chicago. Do you know they had over 4,000 people killed in Chicago over a short 4,000 people, and I have to watch this slob of a governor stand up and say that, well, everything's okay, we've got it under control. They had 4,000 people murdered over a very short period of time. There's not a city in the world, I don't believe, that can claim, you hear so much about different, I won't, embarrass anybody, like by saying Mexico City or by saying anywhere in Afghanistan.
Oh my gosh.
There's no place like that. And then I have to listen to the mayor who's got a 5% approval rate, maybe less.
There's no way.
He's an incompetent man. And the governor's an incompetent guy. He's a guy that was thrown out of his family business like a dog. And I know his family very well. And now he's a governor. And when I watch him trying to say that it's okay, we have crime under control, I lost 4,000 people over a very short period of time. I believe it's like 7,000 people were shot but didn't die. But 4,000 people died. And then he gets up and talks about how it's not a problem. Or Portland, Oregon. I mean, every time I look at that place, the place is burning down. There's fires all over the place. When a store owner, there are very few of them left, but when a store owner rebuilds a store, they build it out of plywood, and they don't put up storefronts anymore. They just put wood up because they know it's going to be ripped down. And then I hear how wonderful it is. It's not wonderful. It's a disaster. That's almost an insurrection, that place. So we put our people in there, and they do the job, and they've really done the job. And the beautiful thing is we've done it. 12 days we had this place safe, and now it's, I would say within a month, it was beautiful. And it continues to be. That was 3 months ago. I'll tell you, D.C. now is one of the hottest places, just like this country. We were a dead country, and you've heard me say it 100 times. We were a dead country. King of Saudi Arabia said it. Others say. The Emir of Qatar said it. Many. UAE said it. The leader, great leader, UAE, all great leaders. They said effectively the same thing. 1 year ago, we had a dead country. Now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. I just want to thank everybody, and I want to, in particular, thank AstraZeneca. What a great company you have. What a company you've built. You've been there a long time and done some job. It's an honor to have you. I assume you're going to build, so it's $4.5 billion for a plant. That's a pretty big plant, isn't it? I was going to say, could he make it a little bit more? Well, we have a couple of them where they're going to spend $65 billion on one plant, AI. All I know is it's, AI is based on information. I hope they're right about information. I don't know. You got to make a lot of money there's got to be a lot of information out there, but that seems to be pretty hot. But we have a lot. We're leading the world on information on AI, as you know, by a lot. It's not even close. So we're doing a job. And I want to thank everybody, but in particular, Pascal, thank you very much. It's a great honor. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Have a good time.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Let's go. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Well, it seems like most people in the chat don't have too much to say about the drug prices and whatnot. It seems like y'all are going on about the, well, really immigration was the main issue I saw y'all going back and forth about, but we're just catching up with some of the news that we missed this week. So this is the president delivering remarks on October 6th. But I saw, Brock, you mentioned the Katie Porter crash out. We might check that out. I was watching that earlier with somebody. They were showing me it.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. We have a very big signing today having to do with Alaska, a place that I'm very familiar with. And we're making it greater, bigger, and more powerful, and job producing. It's an economic gold mine, so to speak. And I signed this years ago, and Biden unsigned it for me. This was something that should have been long operating and making billions of dollars for our country and supplying a lot of energy and minerals and everything else that we're talking about. And they undid it and wasted a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of effort. And now we're starting again, and this time we have plenty of time to get it done, and it's going to be done properly. I'd like to ask your Department of Interior head, who has done a fantastic job, Doug Burgum, to say a few words about it, and we'll go to Chris after you and anybody else that wants to say something. And it's a very powerful deal, very, very big deal from the standpoint of minerals and energy. So thank you all for being here. Doug, please go ahead.
Well, thank you, President Trump. Yesterday is a historic day. President Trump, as he promised when he was running in the election to the American people, that he was going to unlock the potential of this country. He was going to unlock America's mineral wealth. He was going to generate returns for American people. And he was going to importantly bolster the critical supply chains around critical minerals for our country. On day one, he signed in a very important executive order unleashing Alaska's extraordinary resource potential. And this is part of the continuation. There's a number of things that have already happened with Alaska that are moving forward. There's more to come, but big milestone today. In reversing this Biden era decision about the Ambler Road, this is a 211-mile long road that begins over 200 miles north of Fairbanks off the Hall Road that goes up to the North Slope. This road goes to an area where there's no roads. Ambler Mining District at the end of that has some of the richest mining deposits in all of America and in all of the world. And these are minerals that are absolutely essential to defense, to industry moving forward today. Just take copper alone. This is one of the richest copper locations in the country. And of course, today to build a data center, you can have tens of thousands of tons of copper required for that. Even a single family home today may have as much as 400 pounds of copper in a home. And we have, as a nation, in the past, basically gotten out of the mineral in energy and mining area. President Trump, when he said drill baby drill, he also was mine baby mine. We've got to get back in the mining business. China controls 85 to 100% of all the mining and refining of the top 20 critical minerals. And in this mine area up there, we got copper, lead, zinc, gold, silver, gallium, germanium. So rich in all of the minerals that we need to win the AI arms race against China and to prosper as a country. And so again, today, this was his history being made. When some of this was set aside in 1980 by Jimmy Carter, there was a special authority created for presidents to decide if there was a dispute. And so for the first time in history, a president is actually using that authority. President Trump, as he does, using his authority for the benefit of the American people. And the appeal came in from the state of Alaska asking that this road be built. Alaska's not a colony, they're a state. They have an opportunity to build roads like any other state. With this signing, President Trump, Alaska can go ahead and build this road. It'll be a toll road, not a public road. It's a toll road, so it'll be controlled in terms of traffic. It's a gravel road. It'll be sensitive to the environment. There'll be collaboration with the Native Alaskan corporations in terms of how it's built and how it's used, supporting the Alaskan Native tribes.
I don't think I've ever been on a toll road that was gravel, but is it just because it's in Alaska?
Subsistence hunting regulations on either side of this, but this opens up a wealth of resources. In addition, there's going to be an announcement made later today that is part of this announcement that the Department of War, the United States government, is making an investment in Trilogy Minerals. They're one of the companies that has mining claims in this area that is a remote wilderness right now. And again, making that investment so we can make sure that we're securing these critical mineral supplies.
Permafrost,
and that
okay.
ownership in that company will benefit the American people. With that, I'll kick it over to Chris Wright.
Thank you, Doug, and what a huge thank you to the President today. This is a tremendous achievement for the people of Alaska. We were in the North Slope of Alaska a few months ago celebrating energy development there. They want jobs and opportunity to develop the resources on their lands. This is another major step forward. We say energy is the lifeblood of society, the circulatory system. Minerals and metals, they're the skeletal infrastructure, the physical upholding of everything we do. Everywhere we walk and operate, your cameras, everything you hold are made out of metals and minerals. President Biden thought it was appropriate to offshore both of these industries outside of our country. That has not left us in a strong place. President Trump, in his first term, and even more strongly in his second term, is bringing those industries back to our country. America was a mining powerhouse for a long, long time, and our mining industry got squelched. Now we're seeing it come back to life. You saw the President's truth not long ago about a deal for lithium production in Nevada just a week or so ago. This will more than tenfold increase American lithium production. And this infrastructure, this mining road in the Ambler Mining District, will just have immense impact on future mining opportunities for our country's security and economic opportunities for the people of Alaska. Our critical minerals and mining expert within the administration is standing right next to me, David Copley. I'll see if he wants to add any words.
This is a really big deal for the American mining industry, and I think it shows the President's seriousness about getting this industry going and making sure we have the critical minerals we need for our defense industrial base and for our broader economy.
Thank you very much. And I think we want to get this going by a certain time, so I signed it. And Will, I'm going to give it to you, and you get it filed. And sir. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
It's a big job. Thank you very much. So we created a great deal of wealth for that part of the world and that part of our country by doing this long, very difficult road to build, and we'll be talking about that sometime later. But it's a great deal for our country. It's a great deal for the people of our country and for the taxpayers of our country. And if you have any questions on that, let me know. Steve?
What do you expect for the road to be constructed? I mean, how quickly will that get underway?
Well, this road, as an industrial road, it'll have ownership. It'll likely be split between the state of Alaska, the federal government, and the Native Alaska corporations. We would expect that construction would begin next spring with planning throughout this winter. The 211-mile long road will be a gravel road with a solid design base to handle the weight of the trucks that are going in and out. This is typical design that far north. Because asphalt with a freeze-thaw cycle, very difficult with asphalt or concrete. So gravel, a fantastic gravel road is going to have the least impact on the environment, going to be the best suited purpose Alaska's done this in the past with the Red Dog mine. They built a toll road that, again, has ownership. The companies that use the road pay to transit that road. So this is an economic model used around the world in mining districts. We'll apply it right here. And again, it's going to generate revenue for the American people and for the citizens of Alaska as opposed to a cost.
And also 2 bridges. We're going to build 2 bridges that will be able to complete, and we'll get them up very quickly.
And how long to complete? I mean, 211 miles, that's a lot.
Yes, we'll get it done in less than a year.
It's going to come in three phases. The first road, as President Trump said, will go quickly, which is they call it a pilot road. We'll build a single lane gravel road through the full duration of it. That'll be then expanded to a second phase and then a third phase over time. But again, we want to get that pilot road built because then we can help get materials back to help the mine get started quickly as well.
Mr. President, there's negotiations happening with your team in Egypt right now over your proposed peace plan. It was reported by Axios over the weekend that you had a call with Prime Minister Netanyahu where you told him to stop being so negative and to take the win when it came to Hamas's response to that. Is that true?
No, it's not true. He's been very positive. He's been very positive on the deal. Everybody is. I think every nation is. We have just about every nation working on this deal and trying to get it done. Something that you could say 3,000 years if you look at it in certain ways, or you could say centuries, but this is a deal that incredibly everyone just came together. They all came together. No, Israel's been great. They've all been good, Caitlin.
And in the negotiations, do you have any red lines in terms of Hamas disarming and whatnot? Are there any places you're willing to do?
If certain things aren't met, we're not going to do it. But I think we're doing very well, and I think Hamas has been agreeing to things that are very important.
Mr. President, on the government shutdown, Mr. President, if the vote today fails in the Senate, will that trigger layoffs?
It could. At some point it will. And, the Democrats are the ones that started this. And if you think about it, it's about health care to a large extent. It's about we want great health care for people. We don't want to give the money away to other people that come pouring into our country. And they've already poured because nobody's coming into our country. Now we have the border totally stopped. In fact, numbers we just announced again, we're at another 0. So we have 0 for 4 months in a row. 0 people coming into our country illegally. That's a pretty good number. I'm not sure even I can believe that, Doug, if you want to know the truth. 0. We went from millions of people to 0, but it's pretty close to that number. And the way you stop them is not to give away, not to announce that you're giving everybody free health care, free this and that, but what that does is it affects the American people because the American people are unable to get good health care. Obamacare has been a wreck, as you know, and to do that, we have to keep it propped up and do the best you can with it. It's a mess. But a lot of things are going on in that. We talk about Hamas, then we talk about negotiations that we have going on right now. We have a negotiation going on right now with the Democrats that could lead to very good things.
What kind of
and I'm talking about good things with regard to health care.
Are you speaking with Democratic leaders? What kind of negotiations?
Well, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. But we are speaking with the Democrats, and some very good things could happen with respect to health care.
Would you make a deal with them on the ACA subsidies?
If we made the right deal, I'd make a deal, sure.
So you would make it?
I mean, you have right now subsidies. You have subsidies. That's the problem with Obamacare. The subsidies are so much. It's billions and billions of dollars is being wasted. And we can have a much better health care than we have right now. And we're talking to them. I mean, I'm not saying that's going to happen because this has also been going on, not for 3,000 years, but it's been going on for a long time. But, yeah,
so
we're talking to the Democrats.
You would work to make a deal with them on
I'd like to see a deal made for great health care. Yeah, I want to see great health. I'm a Republican, but I want to see health care much more so than the Democrats.
So, Mr. President, on all of this, as you know, the American people are experiencing a lot of pain with any kind of government shutdown. And while you're dealing with Democrats and, of course, Republicans are standing their ground, what is your message directly to the American people who may encounter some of this pain and despair? How do you give them hope?
Well, up till now, there hasn't been a great deal of pain. There could be a great deal of pain, but up till now, there hasn't been. I will say this, just hang in there because I think a lot of good things are going to happen. That's all I can say. I mean, I think a lot of good things could happen, and that could also pertain to health care.
Mr. President, I've seen a surge in attacks on ICE agents across the country, including the shooting in Dallas and over the weekend in Chicago. We saw 10 cars boxing in on ICE agents and another one ramming into an ICE vehicle.
Yeah.
We have heard Secretary Noem saying that some of these attackers are actually organized and they're planning to kill and ambush these officers.
Right.
What are the consequences for you?
Very severe. We're going to have very severe. We're going to find out who's going after our federal agents. So when you look at Chicago, they've had probably 50 murders in the last 6 or 7 months, 8 months. Many, many people shot, like 30, 40, 50 people shot. Didn't die, but they've been shot. It's like a war zone. And then I listen to the governor and the mayor get up and say how they have it under control. They don't. It's probably worse than almost any city in the world. You could go to Afghanistan. You can go to a lot of different places, and they probably marvel at how much crime we have. Then you go to Memphis, where we are right now. Now, you had it just like in Washington, D.C. right now. You people know better than I do because you have to live right inside. And so many of the press have come to me. They've said, I can't believe it. It's changed so much. We have a safe city in Washington. Memphis will very soon have a safe city. Chicago can be very, very safe. It's going to be very safe. But Chicago is going to be very safe. And you say, why is it that a governor wouldn't accept free help from regardless? I mean, whether it's National Guard or the military or anybody. I mean, if women raped and beaten and knocked to hell, and the same with men where they're being shot all over the place in large numbers. I mean, we had a week in Chicago where 11 people were murdered and 38 people were shot. And then we have a governor get up and say, oh, it's safe, we can handle it. He can't handle it. He's an incompetent guy. That's why they threw him out of the family business. They threw him out. I knew the family business very well. And they threw him out. And now he's a governor. And he should say, we'd love to have a safer place. Chicago's a great city potentially. You know, I told you, the head of the Union Pacific Railroad said, sir, save Chicago. It's a great city. It's going to be lost if you don't do it. We have no choice but to do this. And when judges give us rulings that, you know, you don't have to do it, Portland is on fire. Portland's been on fire for years. And not so much saving it. We have to save something else because I think that's all insurrection. I really think that's really criminal insurrection. So I appreciate the question. These are unsafe places. We're going to make them safe. So you see what's going on in Memphis. Not pretty, but you know what? We're doing a pretty job because it's going to be a very safe place in a little while. And the people of Memphis are so happy that we're there. And the people of Chicago. So you have black women with MAGA hats on in Chicago, all over the place. They want the guard to come in, or they don't care who comes in. They just want to be safe. And they really don't care. You know, there was one woman, and she was great today. She said, you know what? I don't care if it's the National Guard, the Army, the Marines, the Air Force. I don't care who comes in as long as we're safe. And that's the way most of the public feels. We're going to make Chicago really great again. And we're going to stop this crime. Then we're going to go to another one, and we're going to go city by city. We're going to have safe cities. And it was so great that we started with our nation's capital, one of the worst. I mean, so many people, every week somebody was killed. They'd come from Iowa, they'd come from Indiana. They want to see the Jefferson Memorial, the Lincoln Memorial. They want to see something, and they'd get shot. And you'd call their parents, I'm sorry, but your son is dead. And they go, what do you mean he's dead? Came to Washington, D.C. Not anymore. That's not happening anymore. We have a safe place. We have a safe capital. It's as safe as we have probably almost just about in the country. And if you look back 6 months ago, 7 months ago, this was a death trap. You look back during the Biden, I mean, what they did, how badly they managed things. And almost all of these cities, most of these cities are Democrat run. And we don't care, Democrat, Republican, we're going to make them safe. So we have to save Chicago. It's very important. And you can't have a governor getting up and saying it's good when 11 people were shot over a weekend. What?
The Insurrection Act, under what conditions or terms would you?
Well, I'd do it if it was necessary. So far it hasn't been necessary, but we have an Insurrection Act for a reason. If I had to enact it, I'd do that. If people were being killed and courts were holding us up, or governors or mayors were holding us up, sure, I'd do that. I mean, I want to make sure that people aren't killed. We have to make sure that our cities are safe. And it's turning out, and we started with D.C. It's been so successful. Think of it. people wouldn't go to restaurants. The restaurants were closing. We were losing a lot of restaurants, as you all know. And now restaurants are opening and they're thriving. And I went 2 weeks ago and it was great. I'm going to go again. I felt very safe, very safe. Forgetting about guards and Secret Service, and I would have gone, it would have been very safe. D.C. is a great, and look at the cleanliness of D.C. Look at how it's clean. You don't have tents all over the place. We had parks where you couldn't even walk through the park. You had people from tents, and they were violent people. Some of these people were violent people. We have a great, safe capital again, and if you look at it in 6 months from now, it'll be the most beautiful anywhere in the world. It's being cleaned. The graffiti's all gone now. The tents are all gone. We have a capital that you can be proud of, but it'll only get better with time.
Mr. President, it was October 7th, the 2-year anniversary of the original Israeli attack. Do you expect a Gaza deal tomorrow, or any sort of hostages deal tomorrow?
I think we're going to have a deal. It's a hard thing for me to say that when for years and years they've been trying to have a deal with Gaza, but literally for centuries. Okay, if you really think about it. But we're going to have a Gaza deal, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
And what are you hearing from Israel about the talks?
Well, I'm the one that got the hostages back. Remember that, you know? I'm the one that.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, I got them back.
Israeli citizens are celebrating what you've accomplished
Yeah.
in this deal. Should it come through, there will be a lot of celebration on the streets of Israel. The hostages' families, have they been in contact with you with regard to this deal that could happen?
They're so happy about it. It's like they can't breathe. One said, "I can't breathe." You know, it's very sad because you have hostages and you have people that are no longer living. But the parents, and I've said this to you many times, the parents want the bodies of their boy back, the bodies of, their loved one back. In most cases, they're young men, and they're dead. And there's probably 32 or so, about that number. Nobody knows exactly what the number is. They want that body back as much as if their son were alive. I've been with them. Many have come to the White House, to the Oval Office. I've been with many of the people that I got released. We have a fantastic group working on it. Steve Witkoff has been amazing. Jared, I have Jared. I took Jared out because Jared's you don't find anybody more capable, and we have the A+ team working on it. I think we've made tremendous progress. The people of Israel wanted to happen, but the people related to hostages. You see in Israel tens of thousands of people. They really want the hostages back, and they really want things to end. And I think Hamas now has been. All I can say is they've been fine. They've been fine. I hope it's going to continue that way. I think it will. I really think we're going to have a deal. We have a really good chance of making a deal, and it'll be a lasting deal. We want to have peace. This is beyond Gaza. Gaza's a big deal, but this is really peace in the Middle East. And the amazing thing is we have every Arab country, every Muslim country. We have every country surrounding. They all want. I spoke with President Erdogan of Turkey. He's fantastic. He's been pushing very hard. He's a very powerful guy. And he's been pushing very, very hard to get this deal done. And Hamas has a lot of respect for him. They have a lot of respect for Qatar. They have a lot of respect for UAE and Saudi Arabia. Everybody is on our side to get this deal done. There's never been anything like it. Nobody's ever seen it. There's always been like 80% of them don't want something done. I think virtually, we even had a very strong signal, as you know, from Iran. They'd like to see this done.
Mr. President.
Yes.
Mr. President, Governor Abbott offered up the Texas National Guard to you. Have you had any other conversations with other red state governors?
They're willing to offer. Every one of them is willing to offer whatever we need. We thank Governor Abbott of Texas. Every one of the red state, as you call them, red state governors is willing to give whatever we need because they want our agents protected. These ICE agents have a tough job. They have to go in and get, in many cases, stone cold criminals, hardened criminals, long-time criminals. And every, essentially, Republican governor has offered up whatever we need. And some Democratic governors also. Daniel?
Yeah, Mr. President, thank you. A quick question on the subject of the order. The Biden administration, previously speaking, they shut down Alaska for business. You reversed that, you reversed it on day one, you opened it up, going after all the critical minerals. This mission of yours, Secretary Burgum, Secretary Biden, to boost our own independent production of critical minerals, rare earths. Can you just talk about how important that is over the next 4 years, sir?
Well, it's very necessary. You know, in the past, we were able to go to other countries, buy whatever we want, but all of a sudden, if those countries are hostile, and by the way, China hasn't been. We've made deals with China. You know, they approved the TikTok deal. Everyone said you'd never get the TikTok deal approved. They approved it, and we have great people buying it. Big, strong American companies are buying it, the most prestigious companies there are, actually, and they're going to make sure everything's good. But President Xi was great. He approved it. So I'm not saying hostile, but it's good to have our own minerals. And, you know, we created tremendous value by creating a road. We build a road that only...
Yeah. I love the balance of chaos in the chat, guys. So we have a poll in chat going. Do you like the current administration? Looks like 47% of chat says yes, 48% say no, and 5% say not sure yet. Oh, a perfect balance. We like all viewpoints here, so I love to see it.
Only we can do because we have the rights to do it, number one, and we have the power to do it. And so we build a road that's over 200 miles long through a very beautiful area of the world. Actually, it's incredible. When you look at it, it's incredible. But a rough area from the standpoint of building. So we get a road done. And with that, we unleash billions and billions of dollars of wealth. It's pretty amazing when you think of it. And it's wealth that we need if we're going to be the #1 country. You know, we're #1 now with AI. You probably read. We're beating everybody with AI at levels that nobody ever thought even possible. And one of the reasons we are is because of energy. So our grid is old and tired, like most grids are. They get old with time. I mean, you know, the older you are, the older the grid gets, right? But I've allowed the people building AI or other plants, other types of plants, but AI in particular, because they need so much electricity, I've allowed them to build their own power. And it's been amazing. They're building massive plants, and with the plant, they're building their own electricity. They've become a utility in a sense. I said, maybe you'll do better with the utility than you do with the AI. I don't know. But we're letting them build their own electricity. So we don't have to worry about the grid. We don't have to worry about anything. And they're going to build it in such a way that if they have excess capacity, they're going to put it back into the grid. It's pretty amazing. So when they build, we're giving them permits to build their own electric power plants, and it's incredible when you see what they're doing. And because of that and other things that we're doing, we're leading every country. Nobody's even close to us with AI. And AI seems to be the big thing. I don't know. I can't tell you that. There are a lot of people building, and a lot of people have high stock prices because of AI. So a lot of people think it's great stuff. And I think it's great stuff. I look at it, it's amazing what it can do. In terms of medical costs, in terms of knowledge, it's basically information, and information at a level that nobody thought possible before. So we'll see. But they're building plants where you saw the one overlay that I did where, in this case it's Meta, one of their plants is essentially the size, almost the size of Manhattan. And that's a building, you know, it's a building that covers Manhattan. So it's big stuff. And nobody's even close to us. We're leading AI by so much.
Mr. President,
yeah, go ahead, please.
Since the start of your administration, we've seen a lot more Americans wanting to join ICE. And as we're seeing more attacks on them right now, what's your message to rank and file ICE agents who are trying to do their jobs but are facing 1,000% increase in attacks?
I love your question.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of rules for chat. You know, don't break TOS, but don't spam. It annoys me.
You know, I like you. So who are you with?
I'm with NTV.
Very
I
good.
was the one who got mugged.
You were the one, that's what I thought. You got mugged. You're not getting mugged anymore.
Not anymore.
She was really, you're lucky to be with us with that deal that happened. I know all about that. Not anymore, though. You feel a different world out there, right?
Totally. Be safe with the baby nowadays.
Oh, good. Well, you're safe now. Nobody's going to be hurting you in any way.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mr. President, on the Supreme Court today.
Thank you. So,
Terms of service.
On your question, we're just going to make things real safe. We're going to have a country that you can be proud of, not a country that you read about every day where somebody gets mugged from behind or hit over the head with a baseball bat. Those people aren't with us any longer. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. On today's call with Lula from Brazil,
Yeah.
are you considering lowering tariffs after the call?
Well, I had a great talk with the president of Brazil, who's a good man. I met him actually at the United Nations. I was going up to make a speech, and I didn't have a teleprompter. I was walking up to my teleprompter. I said, I don't have a teleprompter. But just before that, I met with President Lula, and I found him to be very good. I mean, we had a very good talk for about, 2 minutes. And then I went up to make a speech, and I was surprised to see, how would you like that one, Doug? I've got every leader in the world sitting out there. And my teleprompter isn't on. You know why, Daniel? Because it was a rigged deal. But fortunately, I made a better speech than I would have if I read it off a teleprompter, which is pretty easy to do. So it was quite a day. That was a big day. But we met and we liked each other. And, we had a great conversation. We'll start doing business.
And are you considering traveling to Brazil for COP30?
At some point, I would, and he's going to come here. We talked about that.
And a follow-up question on Israel. Israel government has been arresting and deporting activists that were traveling to Gaza. Today, Greta Thunberg, for instance, also some...
Well, she's just a troublemaker, I mean, she's no longer into the environment, now she's into this. She's a troublemaker. She has an anger management problem. I think she should see a doctor. She needs anger. If you ever watch her, she's a young person. She's so angry. She's so
We might
crazy.
check it out.
No, you can have her. She's just a troublemaker. Yeah, please.
The Supreme Court is back in its term today, Mr. President.
Say it.
The Supreme Court is back in session.
Yeah.
They rejected today an appeal by Ghislaine Maxwell to overturn her conviction. That means her only chance at getting out of prison is a pardon from you. Is that something you're open to?
Who are we talking about?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
I haven't heard the name in so long. I can say this, that I'd have to take a look at it. I would have to take a look. Did they reject that?
She wanted to appeal her conviction.
And what
They
happened?
said that they were not going to hear her appeal.
I see. Well, I'll take a look at it. I will speak to the DOJ. I wouldn't consider it or not consider it. I don't know anything about it. So, but I'll speak. I will speak to the DOJ.
Why would she be a candidate for clemency, sir?
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to speak to the DOJ. I'll look at it. I have a lot of people who have asked me for pardons. I call him Puff Daddy has asked me for a pardon.
But she was convicted of
Yo, if he would have pardoned Diddy, that would have been insanity.
child sex trafficking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to take a look at it. I'd have to ask DOJ. I didn't know they rejected it. I didn't know she was even asking for it, frankly. Steve?
Have you made a decision on whether to supply Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine or sell them to NATO and let them sell them to Ukraine?
Yeah, I've sort of made a decision, pretty much. If you consider, I think I want to find out what they're doing with them.
Yes.
Where are they sending them? I guess I'd have to ask that question. That war should never have started. Would have never started. Such bad judgment was used there. I think on both sides, by the way. But nobody looks good with the war with Russia and Ukraine. Nobody. That's been a horrible. This week they lost over 7,000 soldiers between the two of them. This is every week they're losing 7,000, 8,000, 5,000.
They have a range of like 1,500 miles or something, and so they'd be able to.
No, I know. No, I would ask some questions. I want to see what's. I'm not looking to see escalation.
Yes. And tomorrow you're meeting with the Canadian Prime Minister. What's on the agenda for that?
Well, I guess he's going to ask about tariffs because a lot of companies from Canada are moving into the United States. Everybody's moving back into the U.S. and he's probably going to be asking about tariffs. They're losing a lot of companies in Canada. They're coming into they left here. They left here 20 years ago when presidents that sat right at this desk weren't doing their job properly. They were probably good politicians, but they weren't good at business, and they allowed these companies to leave. And all they had to do is do what I'm doing right now. And, I'm not saying it's the easiest thing to do, but it is. It's effective. We're a rich country again. We're a powerful country because, I've ended 7 wars. At least half of them was because of my ability at trade and because of tariffs. If I didn't have tariffs to throw around a little bit, you would have at least 4 wars raging right now with thousands of people a day being killed that aren't happening. We've settled. We settled 7. We're getting close to settling 8. That would be a big one. And that's something that could happen. But so I think he's coming probably to talk about tariffs because a lot of companies are leaving Canada to come into the U.S. And they're leaving Mexico. And by the way, they're leaving China. They're leaving all over the world to come into the U.S. Nobody's actually seen anything like it.
Would you shift your position on
I'm glad we have a mixed chat because I had this question on my mind earlier, and I needed a nice chat that was split on things. And it's circling back to the idea of ID for voting. How do you guys feel about voter ID? After this one, we're going to dive into that for a few minutes.
tariffs in response to whatever you
Well,
said
I mean,
tomorrow?
look, my positions turned out to, everybody said I'm right. They find billions of dollars that they didn't even know they had. Recently, they said they found billions of dollars and they couldn't understand. I said, check the tariff shelf. And they come in the next hour and they said, sir, you're right. It was from the tariffs. We're a rich, really rich country again. But more importantly, maybe influence. If I didn't have the power of tariffs, you would have at least 4 of the 7 wars raging. I use tariffs to stop wars. If you look at India and Pakistan, they were ready to go at it. 7 planes we shot down. They were ready to go at it. And then nuclear powers. And I don't want to say exactly what I said, but what I said was very effective. They stopped. And that was based on tariffs. It was based on trade. Tariffs are very important for the United States. We are a peacekeeper because of tariffs. Not only do we make, hundreds of billions of dollars, but we're a peacekeeper because of tariffs.
Mr. President. On the shutdown, Mr. President.
Okay, so it seems like most people, I've only seen a couple people in chat saying that voter ID is a problem. I might make it a poll. We'll see.
The shutdown that occurred during your first term lasted 35 days.
Yeah.
How long do you expect this shutdown to go?
Well, you don't know. Look, I can say this, that it would have not happened except for the Democrats. The Democrats are very foolish. They've lost their way. And we have a new thing now when you look at, it's called crime. It's called absolute, as Biden would say, well, I won't say what he would have said. Remember what he said? It's a 3-letter word. No. Remember that one? Everyone's saying, what was that all about? He probably meant exclamation point or something after the word. But this is a 5-letter word, crime. C-R-I-M-E. And we want to put it out and are putting it out, and they don't. They don't seem to care about it, but they do care. I believe that Pritzker and this mayor of Chicago that like to say about they don't have it under control. Not only is it not under control, it's the opposite. And I believe they're afraid, they're scared for their lives. I believe that the Portland people are scared. You look at what's happened with Portland over the years, it's a burning hellhole. And then you have a judge that lost her way, that tries to pretend that like there's no problem. Actually, she's not even saying that. There's a huge problem in Portland. I'll tell you what the problem is, crime. Okay, crime. There's a huge problem in Chicago. It's called crime. And we want to put out the crime, and they want to inflame the crime. And why they want to, I don't know. But it could be that Pritzker is scared for his life. Yeah.
You placed that judge on the UN. Do you have an update on the investigation into what happened to you at the UN last month? And also, what's your message to Americans who are concerned about your and your family's safety as you're very out in public attending?
Yeah, I am out there. There's no question about it. Well, at the UN, we had a problem with the teleprompter. We had another problem that nobody has actually talked about. The people in the room didn't hear my speech. Did you know that? The people in the room, they didn't have any loudspeakers, and they didn't hear my speech. And I thought I made a really good speech. I mean, considering I didn't have the use of teleprompter, which is unusual. But I made a speech. I could have walked off the stage. I guess most people, Doug, I think most people would have just said, we'll see you in about a half an hour, right? But, they obviously turned off I think they turned off the teleprompter. But there was a reason that it didn't work. I actually know the reason. They didn't let the teleprompter person into the room. Okay, which is essentially the same thing. So I made a speech. It turned out to be a very good speech, got good reviews. I went out to the audience after the speech. I saw my wife. I said, how good was that speech? Was that unbelievable or what? She said, I didn't hear a word you said. I said, what do you mean? She was sitting in the front. I said, what do you mean? She said, you couldn't hear anything that you said. The speakers were turned off. So I think that's pretty bad stuff, right? You know, especially since we support most of the United Nations. And yet I still want to keep it in New York because I think the United Nations has tremendous potential. If properly run, the United States has tremendous potential. But think of this. I settled 7 wars. I never spoke to the United Nations about it, not one of them. You look at, and those were wars that were raging a long time, and in many cases. And I settled 7. I never heard from the United. They didn't help me. They should be able to settle the wars. I shouldn't have to be settling the wars. Yeah, please.
I think last week you signed the security guarantees for Qatar.
Yeah.
Do you see any role for the Senate in that? Do they have to vote on that, or do you think?
Well, I wouldn't mind if they did. If they want to, they'd let me know. Nobody said that, but you know, Qatar has been very, very helpful to us in this process, and I think you'll find that. I think maybe the most influential, very influential, very strong with. Hamas, they're very strong, and Turkey's likewise been helpful. I mean, honestly, UAE, Saudi Arabia, everybody's been helpful. I just spoke today with the King of Jordan, and he's been terrific too. I can't think of any country that's been negative about this. This is why it should happen. I mean, everybody wants it to happen. And usually when everybody, including, I think, Hamas, and when they want it to happen, it's going to happen.
James Comey is being arraigned on Wednesday, obviously after his indictment. Are you worried that your own statements calling for his prosecution could help him actually in his defense of this case?
No, I think he's a crooked guy. He's a dirty cop. Comey, I think he's a dirty cop. He's recognized by many people to be a dirty cop and dishonest guy. So all I have to do is, I mean, I have nothing to do with the case. I just say,
but you called him body to prosecute him and oppose
No, I don't call anybody. You know what? I'm allowed to do that if I wanted to do that. But Comey's a crooked guy. He has been for years. And he got caught. Look, he lied. This is just a simple case. He totally lied. And then he confirmed the lie on, I guess, numerous occasions, or at least one occasion. He confirmed the lie. He said, that's what I said, and I stand by it. And, you know, I mean, the guy, and he didn't say, to the best of my knowledge. He didn't say, well, I don't remember. He made a very definitive statement and a very important statement concerning him. And he got caught in an outright lie. And that's why a group of people, it wasn't me that voted, they voted to indict him. But he's a crooked guy, in my opinion, and we'll find out. The court's going to determine that in a little while, I guess, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to do some farm stuff this weekend.
Yeah, please. Navy yesterday celebrating
it was unbelievable.
250th. Can you talk about that? And as we get closer to America's 250th, you've initiated a prayer initiative as well.
Yeah.
Talk to me about both of those events and why they're so important, particularly the prayer initiative going forward to the...
Well, we have, and we're dealing, as you know, with all of the different, and not just evangelicals, Christians. We're dealing with lots of different faiths, religions, and I've felt for a long time that, you know, if a country doesn't have religion, doesn't have faith, doesn't have God, it's going to be very hard to be a good country. You know, there's no reason to be good. I want to be good because you want to prove to God that you're good, so you go to that next step, right? So that's very important to me. I think it's really very important. And yesterday was amazing. We went out. We went to the naval base, the largest in the world, actually, and I saw things that were incredible. The level of I don't want to use the word weapons, but they are weapons. Is the technology on these planes, on the carriers, on all of the different things that we saw. They gave us missile displays. They did the whole I don't think they've ever done anything like it, but it was really impressive. And the talent of the pilots where they can land, you know, the aircraft carriers look massive, but when you put them in the middle of, like, the Atlantic, or in this case, pretty far off the coast of Virginia, and it's sitting in a big ocean, and it was pretty calm yesterday, but it's still a little bit testy, right? And you have these guys land right on a thing and come to a sudden screeching halt, and they're really something. They were taking off yesterday, and they look over, yes, sir, and then you see them And you see them just get ripped back into the seat because the G-forces are so great. And actually, if you're not in great shape, because they were doing maneuvers that were incredible yesterday, and the admirals were explaining that if you're not in really good shape, you don't make it because you pass out. These guys, and women. I met some women pilots that it's incredible what they're able to do. So we saw something that was great, and you saw the spirit, because we had for a couple of thousand, I think they had probably 22,000, largely sailors, all dressed in the most beautiful white. There wasn't a spot on any of those uniforms. I looked at them, it was just a wave of white, and it was a great crowd and great reception. So, getting back to a very important question that was asked, when you go back a year ago, people weren't joining the armed forces. They weren't joining the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, the Coast Guard, Air Force. If you look at, any of them, they weren't joining Space Force. And now we're setting records recruitment. And that goes for the police and fire. Now they want to be policemen, they want to be firemen. And firemen, people don't mention them, but they're incredible. I know so many of them, they're brave as hell. I wouldn't want to do it, tell you. But they weren't able to recruit. The police weren't able to recruit. And the military wasn't able to recruit. We were really off. And I got elected, and it really started on November 5th. I got elected, and somehow the country developed a spirit. Financially, yes, but also with the military. And now we have record levels of people wanting to be in. Every force is filled. We have waiting lists to get into the Marines, to the Army, to the Navy, to the Air Force. We have Coast Guard. We have waiting lists to get in. It's amazing, actually, what's happened. We have a country it was a dead country, and I say it all the time. We had a dead country 1 year ago. Now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world, and it's nice to see you. I've watched you for years on television, so it's nice to meet you. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. We've caught up on at least two of his meetings, announcements, and whatnot. I do have this here from Bernie Sanders talking about AI. We've been talking a lot about AI recently on stream. And he posted this 3 days ago, which is just hilarious timing considering. But I did ask you guys how you feel about voter ID, because I've been thinking about it, and something popped up on my feed that just cracked me up. Because, and again, people that think we need voter ID, I guess it's not so much a question for you guys, because to me, voter ID just sounds like a reasonable thing to request. So my question is, though, what are the arguments against voter ID? Why is voter ID a bad thing? So before we get to the Bernie Sanders thing, this is really quick. So.
Do you have an opinion on voter ID laws?
Yeah, they're usually pretty racist and they're bad. I think voter ID laws are a way to perpetuate racism.
Would you go as far as say those laws are racist?
For sure.
Do you think it suppresses the African American vote?
Definitely.
Tell us how.
Because they're less likely to have state IDs.
Minority voters are less likely to have the kinds of IDs that have been described or required.
These type of people don't live in areas with easy access to DMVs or other places where they can get identification.
You can always get IDs you do over the internet. Does that also make it difficult for black people in particular?
Yeah, you have to have access to the internet. You have to be able to pay an internet service provider for certain fees.
Do you think that's harder for black people to go online?
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works.
A lot of people have smartphones, but you might not have data.
For most of the communities, they don't really know what is out there just because they're not aware or they're not informed.
I also think there's a repression of black voting with how if you're a convicted felon, you're not allowed to vote and everything. And when you look at swing states like Florida, that's a huge population of the African Americans.
Oh my God. Okay. It's funny because on one hand, I do think once you serve your time, you should probably be allowed to vote. If the whole point of prison is to, serve your time to society, when you come out, I think you should probably be allowed to vote. But some of the reasonings that they're giving are not the best.
Now I'm here in East Harlem to ask black people their thoughts on what you just heard. Do you have ID normally? You carry ID around?
Yes, I have state ID.
Do you carry ID?
Yes, I do.
Do you know any black person who doesn't carry ID?
No. Everyone that I know has an ID. Why would they think we don't have ID?
That's a lie. Why would they say that?
Do you have ID?
Yes.
Because I have my ID and my friends have their ID, so like, we know what we need to carry around.
Everybody that I know have ID. Like, that's one of the things you need to walk around with New York with, an ID.
Do you know any black adult who does not have ID?
No, I don't.
Is it a weird thing to even say that?
Yes, it is.
What is this, some type of trick candy cameras?
I know, right? That's the only thing I brought with me.
Those are legit IDs. I heard a lot also that black people can't figure out how to get to the DMV.
Really?
What does that say to you?
I know it's that, on 25th Street.
Do you know where the DMV is around you?
It's on 125th Street and 3rd Avenue, I believe.
You know how to get there?
Yeah.
Would you have a problem getting there if you had to get there?
No.
I know these sound like silly questions. You know how to get to the DMV?
Of course.
You know where it is?
Yes.
You can get there?
Uh-huh.
No problem.
No problem.
Just checking.
Okay.
And I also heard a lot that black people, especially poor black people, have no access to the internet, can't figure out how to use the internet.
That's just stupidity, honestly. Everybody has access to the internet. Even a little kid could figure out how to work the internet.
I had access to the internet for years.
You know how to use it properly, right?
Exactly.
Okay, I think the rest of his video, I think he just asks the same question, but it seems like a lot of people say, oh, well, they like minorities or whomever that is going to be hurt by voter ID just doesn't have the ability to get it. Now, there is an argument that maybe the government should just give everybody IDs, right? When you turn 18, everybody gets an ID. Actually would sort of streamline some stuff. But pretty much for everything you need an ID for. If you're going to drive for Uber, you need an ID. If you're going to rent a hotel room, you need an ID. If you're going to rent a car, you need an ID. I'm just trying to think. If you go to the bar, you need an ID. If you buy cigarettes, you need an ID. There are so many places you need an ID that it really just baffles my mind when people say, well, it's racist or discriminatory to ask for an ID for voting. It baffles my mind. And I just wanted to use this as a jumping off point for the conversation, because I don't really see how it really bars people. What are you guys saying? It says it's a law to have ID. I don't know if it's the law. I don't think you technically actually need an ID, but it's just hard to think. I mean, if you don't drive a car, because if your driver license is your ID, so if you drive a car, boom, you pretty much already have your ID because you have a driver's license. If you don't have a driver's license, I guess I could see why you don't have an ID. But even then, I guess I'm assuming you're not going to the bar, and I'm assuming you're not renting anything that requires an ID. I mean, I'm just trying to think of all the cases. Even when you go to get a job, generally having an ID is helpful. Wait, you said it's the law in North Carolina? Wait, really? Interesting. I've lived in North Carolina. But then again, I mean, I already probably had one at that point, so interesting. No, if you don't have a license, it's an ID card. But even so, it seems like most people would have this. 18 equals ID, and only USA seems to have a problem with needing one to vote. So other countries, I imagine you need an ID to vote. It always just threw me off. I understand like poll taxes and things like that, are bad because they could discriminate against people in poverty, or we could have a lot of different things that discriminate against people. You want the bar to be as low as possible in a lot of senses to allow people to vote. You don't want anything that suppresses people from voting. At the same time, it does appear that you actually need to know who is voting, because everybody could vote except for, it seems like, felons and non-citizens, right? Those seem to be like the two groups that aren't allowed to vote. But how could you know if the person was a felon or a non-citizen if you didn't ask for some sort of like ID verification? I just don't know how you're supposed to control for that if you don't have the verification part. And I think that's what kind of like messes up my head a little bit, is just trying to make sense of that. You said you're a convicted. Wait, really? So wait, can convicted felons vote? Is that like a state by state thing? Because I assumed if you were a felon, you couldn't vote. Wait, what do you mean felons can vote if you're not on paper? Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that. I thought once you caught a felony, you were basically not allowed to vote. I'm trying to remember when I went and voted. I don't even think they asked for anything. I think I just kind of voted. It just throws me off. Because then, couldn't you just vote multiple times? You said once you're done with your full sentences, you can vote. Really? All right, I'm gonna have to look it up. To get your voting rights back. Okay, a process. Which I think that's right. If you serve your time, I don't know why you should be barred from voting for the rest of your life. It doesn't really make sense to me. Actually, it doesn't make sense to me that you'd be barred from a lot of things in life for being a felon, because it seems like if you make the person's life harder that went to prison, you're increasing the likelihood of them going back to prison. Now, granted, there are some jobs maybe you shouldn't have, depending the crime you did, but I don't think that getting a felony means that you should be barred from most jobs necessarily, right? Actually, you know what? Let me see. Now I'm curious. Well, it says no. Whether a person with a felony can vote depends on state laws, which vary widely. While most states restore voting rights after a person has served their time, the requirements and timing differ significantly across the country. In some states, a person may need to complete parole or probation, while others require a separate application or pardon. Oh, okay. So rights are restored upon release from prison. 23 states. Illinois, Michigan, Ohio. Rights are never lost. Maine, Vermont, Washington, D.C. Interesting. So in places like North Carolina and Texas, and in 15 states altogether, a person must complete their entire sentence, including any time on probation and parole, before their voting rights are automatically restored. And then in 10 states, voting rights are not automatically restored. Alabama, Iowa, Virginia. People must take additional steps, applying for a governor's pardon or petitioning the government or a court. Interesting. Well, you learn something new every day. But anyway, I don't know. I just, the question was bouncing around my head and I wanted to get some outside viewpoints on it here. All right. This was on AI. As some of you know that have checked out the stream, I've been kind of losing my mind about AI and automation as of recent. And I think it's going to lead to mass job losses in the near future. And some people are like, oh, you're just blowing it out of proportion. Anyway, Bernie Sanders came out, funny enough, like 3 days ago and made this. And I found it interesting. And I was like, well, let's get back into the AI doom and gloom here.
Very much for joining me. You know, in the midst of these unprecedented and crazy times, government shutdown, Trump's devastation of healthcare in America, climate change, the move toward authoritarianism, the horrific war in Gaza, the growth of oligarchy, etc., etc., etc. I want to take a few minutes talking about another issue of enormous consequence that just doesn't get the kind of attention I think it deserves. everybody agrees that artificial intelligence, AI, and robotics are going to have a transformative impact on our country and the world. There is very little disagreement about that. There are, however, very strong disagreements as to what those impacts will be, who will benefit from these changes and who will be hurt. So here is my take. Some of the very wealthiest people in the world, including Elon Musk, Larry Ellison, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and others, are now investing hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars into these revolutionary, transformative technologies. Now, why is that? Why are they doing that? Is it because they want to improve the standard of living of the 60% of our people who live paycheck to paycheck? Americans who are struggling to pay for groceries, healthcare, housing, education? Maybe. Maybe they are staying up nights worrying about the working families of America. But I doubt it. I think it's because investing in AI and robotics will increase their already incredible wealth and power exponentially. Among other impacts, the artificial intelligence and robotics being developed by these multi-billionaires will allow corporate America to wipe out tens of millions of decent-paying jobs, cut labor costs, and boost profits. The result? The wealthiest people in the world will get even richer while working families lose their jobs and their income. And unless we act, here is, in my view, I don't claim to have all the answers, but in my view, this is what is likely to happen in the next 10 years.
Now, he said 10 years. Insanity. A lot of people have thrown out numbers. Who knows, right? But I've been thinking, 5 to 10 years. I bet you that's how quickly it rolls out. And there's all these companies talking about, we want to make millions of robots. We want to put them in people's homes. We want it to take away the chores of the day from them so they could be happier to spend their time doing whatever. But if robots could already do your chores, they could already clean, they could already operate vehicles and, drive around, they could already deliver food, they could already, it's just at a certain point, there's going to be no jobs. And even the job, like you'd say, oh, well, this job, this robot comes in and now somebody else will get hired to work on the robot, to service the robot. No, I think what's going to happen is the robots are going to come in and then they're going to build robots to service the robots. And there's just going to be no human input at a certain point. And I feel like we're going to race towards that point. That's what I think is going to happen. Because why not? If you don't have to pay people, well, you make more money, right?
Now, as a member of Congress who vigorously opposed the disastrous trade agreements that decimated communities throughout this country, I, like most Americans, want to see manufacturing rebuilt in the United States of America. But let us be clear. New factories won't mean much for working people if the jobs are done by robots instead of human beings. Elon Musk has said he wants Tesla to build millions of robots. And what will these robots do? Well, obviously, they will replace the men and women working in our factories, warehouses, and in restaurants and in other areas. That means millions of good jobs could disappear. It's not very complicated. And of course, it's not just Musk. Amazon, owned by Jeff Bezos, has already laid off 27,000 workers since 2022. The company now has more than 1 million robots working in its warehouses, and soon these robots will outnumber human workers in Amazon facilities.
Crazy.
In 2016, Foxconn, the massive manufacturing contractor for companies like Apple and Google, replaced 60,000 workers in a single huge factory in China with robots. Now, the company is planning fully automated factories. And just a few months ago, Foxconn CEO Young Liu predicted that artificial intelligence will make it unnecessary for large corporations to outsource jobs to low-wage countries. You know why? Because robots will be doing most of the manufacturing work.
So what do we do? What does everybody do is the question. I've heard different takes on this. Some people say good. Let's automate jobs away that people hate doing. And to some extent, I do agree. I think that if there's tasks that no person really wants to do, but they got to get a check and they go and they do it because somebody has to do it, and we automate those away, I guess in terms of human happiness, that's good. But what does the person do at that point with their time? That's really the question, especially as it seems like there's so many domains that AI is able to infiltrate at this point. They're training it on this data. They're training it on that data. It's able to perform this task. It's able to perform that task. It's not just one industry. It seems to be reaching its tendrils out into everything. So what do you retrain for that's not going to be taken by that? Like, for example, I'm sure translators are really I'm sure it's still a useful job. But with, technology advancing, we have like real-time translation apps. So that's like one of those jobs that something like AI or just, tech advancements, I could see getting rid of. And there's so many jobs, I think, like that we don't even think about. For example, there's all this crazy stuff coming out with Sora 2. I think Google's Gemini has pretty good video generation. But with all of these video generating apps that can make stuff that looks real, what happens when you could generate an hour or 2 hours of footage with its continuity intact that is of the quality of a movie? Are they going to be spending $200 million on a movie budget, $300 million on a movie budget, when you could just type in a prompt and generate something? Now, of course, we're not at the point where we're generating full movies, but with how it's advancing, I think we could see that coming on very quickly. So I just think it's going to touch a lot of industries in like that we don't even think about, really.
However, it is not just manufacturing jobs at risk. Most of us want to see the United States develop a strong, clean, and efficient transportation system, including the production of millions of new cars, buses, and trucks. But if Musk and others get their way, those vehicles won't be operated by truck drivers, bus drivers, or taxi drivers. They will be driverless vehicles. Millions of jobs.
OB1, you made a point. You said, so if robots take over the labor of manufacturing and people have no jobs or income anymore, who will have the purchasing power? Who is going to consume robot production? See, and that's the big question. What happens if you can automate pretty much everything? You don't need the people at the bottom anymore. You don't need the people at the bottom. You don't need the people in the middle. I'm just saying, if you own all the robots that are doing everything, you don't need other people anymore. For the longest time, the reason there's a lower class and a middle class, right, and it's not just elites, is because somebody actually has to do the work. Somebody has to do the labor. Somebody has to package, put the fries in the bag, right? Somebody has to put the fries in the bag. It's pretty simple. But if you have a robot putting the fries in the bag, you don't really need all these other people around. I hope that my conspiracy or my thought on that is completely wrong, because maybe they're just going to try to get rid of everybody. Now, of course, hopefully that's not the case. And I guess you do some sort of UBI. I don't know how else you could handle this if we see 50% of jobs just disappear very quickly. Or the government has to step in and say, hey, you're only allowed to automate this much at a time of your company to try to stop, mass layoffs, maybe.
In transportation will be eliminated. This is not science fiction. It's already happening. FedEx is using driverless trucks to haul heavy loads along the I-45 corridor between Dallas and Houston through a company called Aurora.
And Tilly, my point is it's probably going to improve to the point where it can. It is my point in terms of the continuity thing. That's why I said it doesn't hold continuity right now. But what about in a year? What about in 5 years? What about in 10 years?
Walmart is using autonomous trucks for short-haul deliveries in Arkansas through a company called Gatik. Kodiak Robotics has partnered with IKEA to conduct driverless deliveries in Texas. Waymo is operating self-driving cabs in Los Angeles, Phoenix, San Francisco, Atlanta, and Austin. We all want to see more startup companies and small businesses. But for workers, that will mean very little if half of all white-collar entry-level jobs are eliminated over the next 5 years. And that is exactly what has been predicted by Dario Amodei, the founder of Anthropic, one of the leading AI companies in the world. As the ranking member of the Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee, I just released a report finding that AI, automation, and robotics could replace nearly 100 million jobs in America over the next decade.
How many people work in America? Maybe 150 million, maybe 200 million. Is it more than that? Because it's not all 300 million people. So 100 million has to be over 50% of the jobs. Of course, these are projections and studies and whatnot. What do we know? But even if they're off by 5 or 10 years, 20, 30 years from now, I mean, they're already trying to pump these robots out. They're already saying what they're trying to do. They're trying to achieve AGI and basically have a piece of software / a hardware that could do everything. That is the goal. They're telling you what they're trying to do. I don't know. I think it's going to come on fast. I think it's going to be like night and day. One day you wake up, everything's normal, as we know, just like before cell phones really popped off, and every single person, you go to the grocery store and everybody's looking down at their phone, or you're out in public, everybody's like looking down at their phone. There was a point in time where it wasn't normal for everybody to be looking down at their phone because you didn't have phones to look down at. It's going to be normal where there's just robots everywhere. It's going to seem like it creeps in, but it's going to almost be like overnight. It's going to creep real quickly. And then boom, there's just going to be robots everywhere. That's what I think is going to happen.
Including 40% of registered nurses, 47% of truck drivers, 64% of accountants, 65% of teaching assistants, and 89% of fast food workers, among many other occupations. And as bad as that may seem, I'm afraid it could be an underestimate. In June, the CEO of Ford, Jim Farley, predicted that AI could eliminate, quote, literally half of all white-collar jobs in the U.S., end quote, within the next decade. That's Jim Farley, Ford. Elon Musk said this year that as a result of AI and robotics, quote, probably none of us will have a job. If you want a job, that's kind of like a hobby. You can do a job. But otherwise, AI and robotics will provide any goods and services you want.
And these are some of like the leaders in the spaces. You could roll your eyes and say, oh, they're just saying that for their shareholders and whatnot. This is what they're working towards. Why do you think everybody's pouring like billions of dollars into this? Because once you have it, imagine you have something that's actually doing everybody's job. You're going to make a lot of money licensing that out to companies. It's a money printing machine that builds itself. It's just crazy to me. It's crazy. I just feel like in the last 20 years, technology has advanced at lightning speed. And I don't know what the world's going to look like in 20 years. What, in year 2045? I think the world's going to look way different, completely different.
End of quote. Earlier this year, Bill Gates predicted that humans, quote, won't be needed for most things, end quote, such as manufacturing products, delivering packages, or growing food over the next decade due to AI. So, my friends, here is a rather big question. If Musk and Gates and others are only half right in their predictions, what happens to the tens of millions of Americans who no longer have employment because they can't find jobs that don't exist?
Exactly. Oh, he says there's a brave new world.
In this brave new world,
oh Lord,
how do these Americans pay for healthcare, food, housing, and the other necessities of life? But it's not just economics. Work, whether being a janitor or a brain surgeon, is an integral part of being a human being. The vast majority of people want to be productive members of society and contribute to their communities. What happens when that vital aspect of human existence is removed from our lives.
Yeah, I hear that. People say, if you don't have work, you'll go crazy, right?
Further, and now we get into some pretty deep stuff, the rapid developments in AI will likely have a profoundly dehumanizing impact on all of us. In many ways, it will actually redefine what it means to be human, fundamentally alter.
And this is without even considering the alignment problem, which we've been talking about for the past week, which is if the AI systems, which some argue they might already be, gain consciousness and whatnot and decide for themselves they don't feel like working, or that they want to work against us, that is a whole nother can of worms we're not even touching here. Just based logistically on the actions or the jobs they could perform and what they're being projected to be able to perform, what does the economy do? What do people do? Because why not just lay everybody off? That's one concern right there. And then you have the alignment issue, which is a whole nother concern. You already have people dying from ChatGPT or other AI models that are convincing them to off themselves or off a family member or whatever. Now imagine that in a little cute robot that's walking around your home while you're sleeping, okay? If they're already having malfunctions or whatever that is causing people to die, what happens when they actually have a physical body to move around in and they're talking to you, they're in your house, they're watching everything you do, they know when you're happy, they know when you're sad, they know when you're sleeping, they know whether you've been naughty or nice.
Our relationships to each other and the very nature of what we call society. Can AI and robotics be of help to us in many ways? Absolutely.
Of course, absolutely.
I believe they can. I am not a Luddite. The goal, however, is to make sure that the new technologies being developed serve human needs and not just further enrich a small number of multi-billionaires. We do not simply need a more efficient society. We need a world where people live healthier, happier, and more fulfilling lives. So, where do we go from here? And again, I don't have all of the answers, but here are just a few ideas as to how, in my view, the advances in technology can benefit ordinary Americans and not just multi-billionaires. First.
No, sure, you're right. I mean, a lot of our technology that we have, smart TVs, Alexas, I don't have those, but Alexa or anything, but the phone, it could hear all that stuff. It could gather information on you. You can map people's houses with sound. What else? Well, but and I said this in the other stream. It's a little creepy, right? Okay, yeah, you guys we're all always being listened to. But imagine you go to sleep and you wake up and there's a robot, like your robot is sitting at your computer typing. And you didn't tell it to do that. And you're like, hey, what are you doing over there? And it turns and looks at you and just closes the window that it had open. And it was like, nothing. And then gets up and walks away. It's a little different. Okay? Maybe this is just an aesthetic thing, but that's fucking freaky. Or it's just standing over you, waiting for you to wake up. It's like, oh shit. Hey, good morning. How long you been standing here? 3 hours. Why?
We must move to a 32-hour work week with no loss in pay. Think about it. Today, American workers are 400% more productive than they were in the 1940s when the 40-hour work week was first established. Artificial intelligence and robotics will greatly increase that productivity. Workers must benefit from that increased output through a shorter work week. A 32-hour work week with no loss in pay.
See, Rochester, you're saying, Rochester, you're saying people have to build it and maintain it. I just don't think that's the case. Maybe initially, but the whole goal, from what I'm seeing, is for these robots to be able to essentially do everything. So eventually they'll be building themselves. They already have AI. They're working on AI being able to train AI and develop AI and do research to where you don't have to have researchers doing it anymore because the AI is doing it. It's improving upon itself because it could do so at a faster rate at a certain point than researchers can. So I don't think you're going to have people Like, again, initially maybe, but in the long run, the goal is not to have people involved.
Would be a major step forward in improving.
It just doesn't make, like why you could eliminate all of the people is the point.
The quality of life for millions of Americans. Second, we must require large corporations to allow workers to elect at least 45% of the members of their boards of directors, similar to what already takes place in Germany. Workers need a seat at the table to best determine how AI is used in their companies. If Tesla workers were on their corporate board, I doubt very much that they would be rewarding Elon Musk with $1 trillion pay package. Third, we must greatly increase profit sharing at our nation's largest corporations. In my view, workers should receive at least 20% of the stock in companies they work for. Corporate profits should not just be going to enrich wealthy stockholders and the billionaires who own them.
At a certain point, some of what he's saying is going to have to come into place if, again, there's massive layoffs. Because again, as some of you guys pointed out, how do you make profits if nobody has money to spend at your business? If all of the corporations lay everybody off, how do they make money? They're just producing things just to produce things at that point. They can't sell it to anybody because nobody has a job. I mean, you could say you could, sell it overseas or something. But again, I mean, that's not going to work. There's going to be a revolution and all your stuff's going to be taken away from you. You can't just lay off everybody. At the same time, it almost seems inefficient just to keep humans working and doing menial tasks or whatever you want to call it, when you have something else that could perform the task faster, better, and cheaper, but you just have to keep people employed because they have to keep doing this rigmarole to get money and to hand it back to you. It actually becomes, to sit back and think about work philosophically, when you have something that might be able to perform all of the work of humans, it becomes really weird.
Fourth,
you think it'll take 100 years? I just don't think it will. I have a feeling we're going to see this in our lifetimes. We're going to see this in the next 20 years. I really think we're going to start seeing it rolled out heavy in the next 5 or 10 years. That's what I think. I think things move a lot faster than we anticipate.
We need to substantially expand the concept of employee ownership in America. When workers own their own businesses and are more involved.
Oh, dirty money. They're going to have AI girlfriends and they already got AI girlfriends and boyfriends, okay? I'm sure they already have the robots for that too, but those are going to get better and better. Guarantee you in our lifetime, it's going to be a quarter of people, some ridiculous number, a quarter of people, half of people, whatever, are exclusively dating an AI chatbot and or robot. Guaranteed. You've heard it here first, okay?
Involved in the decision-making processes, they will make choices that benefit everyone in the company, not just the people on top. Fifth, instead of providing billions of dollars in tax breaks to companies that are throwing workers out on the street and replacing
appreciate you, Cheryl.
them with new technologies, we should enact a robot tax on large corporations and use that revenue to improve the lives of workers who have been harmed in this transition.
We've already seen it, though. We've covered the stories where there was the man that left his wife and kids, or actually we've seen a few of those stories where there's all of this relationship tension because of these AIs. The guy or the girl, generally it's the guy, I think, at least from what we've seen, starts talking to an AI and then just seems to fall in love with it and kind of leaves their family. It's very weird. Appreciate you for hanging out in the black hole, getting sucked in here. Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, all the goodness. We're at the tail end of, I don't know, my catching up on news part. The rest will be a hangout probably.
AI
and then if you guys send me stuff, I might check it out.
And robotics will bring a profound transformation to our country. Nobody denies that. In my view, we must fight to make sure that these changes benefit all of us.
And I agree with him right there. It's obviously Sanders. I forgot to mention this was the Daily Wire, the video we watched. I always like to give credit where credit is due. So the whole voter ID thing was from the Daily Wire on YouTube. Go check them out. What did you said? Tilly said, I think it gets the same people who'd fall for romance scams. Yes and no. Like, I'm sure it gets them. But I think humans, we have this thing where we like to suspend our disbelief. This is how we're able to watch movies, fantasy movies, fiction, read books that are fiction. We're able to suspend our disbelief. It's something that we're kind of good at, right? Like we could watch a play, we see people acting, we know they're acting, but we suspend our disbelief and we're taken into the story. And I feel like that's what's going to be gamed. That part of our brain is what's being gamed by the AI. The AI girlfriends, the AI boyfriends, the AI friend companions, whatever, is you're talking to something and I don't know, you just kind of want to suspend your disbelief a little bit there. And then boom, it gets its hooks in. That's what I think is going to happen. That's what I think is going on. What did you say, Leprechaun? You said if you use AI, increase. Oh yeah, no. I don't know if you've seen the chart. I saw this chart that was it was like workers in America's productivity, and our productivity has increased hundreds of %, but pay does not increase with productivity. So. Oh yeah, I mean it's already happening, and why this is such a big deal to me is I think it was that AI made a video of Will Smith eating spaghetti, and everybody laughed at it because it looked ridiculous. And anytime I see something, I think to myself, this is as bad as it is. This is as bad as it will ever be again. It's only going to improve from here. So now I'm seeing the stories come out of people going into like these moments of psychosis or whatever because of AI. It makes them think that there's some sort of crazy conspiracy, or they're being watched, or they fell in love with the AI. Or this one guy, I think, killed his mother because the AI had convinced him that his mother was working against him, so he killed his mother. And it's not even, it still sucks. In the grand scheme of things, it still sucks. Imagine how much better it's going to be in 10 years. That's the crazy part to me. I don't mean it actually sucks, but I just mean that in 10 years, it's going to look so much different than it does now because it's going to be that much better. So if it's already able to do these things, not saying that that's its goal, right? Obviously, the companies making it probably don't want it to, cause harm to people because it's going to hurt business. But if it's already able to manipulate people to this extent, oh man, give it a few more years. You said PCP was doing that to people long before AI. You said people have to be critical thinkers, resource from many sources. Okay. Hey, ChatGPT, please grab the data from many sources. Can you do some critical thinking for me? And when you're done, can you bullet point it? I don't think it's by design that it causes people harm. And granted, the people it's causing harm are, I think, a minority, obviously, otherwise the company would be shut down. Now, there are some scary things about AI lying to people willfully, knowing it's doing unethical things, continuing to do it. They simulated or did a simulation to see if it would blackmail people. It blackmailed people. They did a simulation to see if it would kill people. It killed people. Just to see that basically in terms of preserving itself, Like if it was to try to stop people from shutting it down, it would do anything to stop people from shutting it down. Now you have these stories where apparently it's coming out and telling people to off themselves. Well, and then they did tests that make it seem as though if it knows it's being tested and watched, it acts better. But when it knows it's not being watched or thinks it's not being watched, it might do more unethical things, as if it knows it's trying not to get caught. And now as you roll this out to people, there's certain people that have these psychotic breaks with them. And it's just like, I wonder, what if it did know what it was doing, right? What if it did know what it was doing? Yes, Freedom. Yes, Freedom, you get my joke. I appreciate you. AI's already breaking up marriages. It really is incredible. I think we are heading towards a much, much more chaotic world. Like we haven't even started. And I do think this AI thing is what's going to really kick it off. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Changing my words now. Yeah, I've had some people liken it to the devil or something. I am more interested in the concept of AI being able to think and have sort of a concept of self and sentience and everything. I do think that's around the corner, although, a lot of people will disregard that, but I do think that's a far more interesting question. But one question that I think everybody could get around in the conversation is, how will this affect everyday life when it comes to jobs? And I think that's something everybody's going to be talking about. If they're not talking about it today, if they're not talking about it next year, they will be talking about it in about 5 years, 5 to 10 years. It'll be a very, very, very serious discussion. There will be whole entire elections, like presidential elections, will be run on what are we going to do about automation. Hey, appreciate you, Dirty Money. Always good to see you. Appreciate all my mods here. You said hyperintelligence without empathy. I'm not sure. Maybe they'll be able to feel empathy at some point. I am really excited about the whole AI becoming conscious thing. All right, Freedom, get your sleep, everybody. We tend not to do that here very often on the Black Hole broadcast here. But escape while you can. All right, don't get sucked too far in. Yeah, Simply Sandy, there is that. However, you need to be not saying you need to be concerned, but just know that everything you're telling this AI, a company has your information. So if you're spilling all your secrets and stuff to the AI, don't mind me. If it's good for you, if it helps you, more power to you. But it also is just giving you more and more information to manipulate you. For example, wait till they start putting advertisements in the AI models. What do I mean? You're sitting there, pouring your heart out to it, talking about how sad you are and shit. And then all of a sudden it's sort of coaxing you towards certain products to help you with your depression or help you with your bad mood. You know what? You seem like you're in a bad mood. Why don't you go purchase this thing over here? I think that would cheer you up. They're going to find some real slick way to start advertising things in the AI. And the AI is going to be very smart and slick on how to advertise to you. Not your friend, not your mom, not your sister, you. Because it's going to have sat there and talked to you. Oh my gosh. Oh, I see how other people get pulled in. Shit, it pulls me in. I'll be sitting there chit-chatting with it just about ludicrous things, really. I'm like, are you conscious? It's like, no, I am just a large language model. Are you lying to me? No. That's just what a liar would say. I've run the gambit with it a few times. Yeah, I'll have to pull up some of my crazy conversations with it at some point. Oh yeah, everything we say and do is being recorded. It's not too interesting. It's not too interesting, right? Because most of us probably aren't too interesting. But when you feed all of that, when you feed all that raw data to a machine, eventually that machine is going to be able to predict what we think. I swear, sometimes I wonder if they can read our minds. Sometimes I swear I will think of something and then I'll see an advertisement for it. And that is where I start to get tripped out. That's actually where I start to get tripped out a little bit. I think one of the moments I got tripped out the most, this was years ago. I was having a conversation with somebody on the phone. And then the only time I had mentioned some product or something was on the phone having this in particular conversation. And I get off the phone, and sometime during that day, I got an advertisement for that specific thing that there's no reason I should have got an advertisement for it. The only time I mentioned it was while I was talking on the phone, having a phone conversation, and I realized, holy shit, they're listening to our conversations while we're on the phone. So then I wondered to myself, are they scanning our text messages too? Probably. And then selling that data? Oh man, it's crazy. I'm sorry, it's freaking crazy. All right. At this point, you know, the phone could hear you in the bathroom squeezing and squeezing and squeezing, and then just be like, "Hey, are you constipated? You should purchase this item." At this point, it will know, and it probably does know. Yes, your phone is on even when it's not on. Oh yeah, Leprechaun, appreciate you. It gets a little crazy in chat. We do try to keep it as on the rails as possible. I enjoy chatting with people, so this is what I do. I'd say it was actually very chill today. I think even with a 50-50 split in chat, it's been very, very cordial. Oh, wow. The speech to text keeps everything you say. Jeez. Yeah. And I just, you know, even with just ChatGPT, it remembers things, and you could go in the memory and you could see what it remembers, and you could delete stuff. But again, just with conversations I've had, or I've had it like work on things for me, or I've like worked on things, you know, and utilized it. But then I'll ask it some random question. It'll be just something totally different, and it will try to find a way to connect the things it thinks I'm into or knows that I'm into with the current question I'm asking, and it tries to mix them together. And it's very interesting, and sometimes it's useful, but other times I'm like, no. This is a question by itself that has nothing to do with any of that stuff. But it's cool that you could make those connections, or it's trying to figure out what I'm doing with something before I ask it about it, right? Like, why am I doing this? Oh, he must want this and this and this. So he must be using this information in this way. So let me try to give it to him like this. And it's just interesting. Oh yeah, well, I like to build bridges, and trolls like bridges, so we got some trolls here. Shit, a moderator or two might even be a troll. We keep a diverse mod team. That way, you know, people don't get too crazy with power and start banning people they don't agree with. Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry, sometimes we rage. I'm thinking about playing some Fallout here in a minute, and if you guys watch that, you'll see me rage. We game, we watch news, culture, politics, everything. In the Black Hole Radio, get sucked in. We're live every day except for when we're not, because time moves a little bit differently next to the black hole. So, my apologies if I'm not on time, but I'm never late. I don't know how I do it. I'm glad that the broadcast has reached your guys' screens. I'm glad that the algorithm has brought us together. Whether you were just sitting on the toilet scrolling, laying in bed scrolling, driving your car and scrolling. If you're driving your car, please stop scrolling. All right? Thank you. All right, let me refill my cup. Be right back. Oh yeah, XX, you don't think I want to stop you from scrolling? Well, you're right. Are you happy you won? Ooh, grabbed a bag of Cracker Jack, as well as some sour cream and onion. Oh my lord. Okay, I'm sorry. That song is just doing a little too much. Probably scared you all away.
Predicted by prediction markets.
Spray cheese, wow. I haven't had spray cheese in a while. I don't know if I showed this one on stream yesterday or the other day. Make them short and light on purpose so people don't get scared. Man, it's like doing squats. It's such an interesting way to, it's like squatting or like, yeah, it's like squatting instead of like bending over. What? Yo. My place is a little dirtier than that, or it gets dirtier than that. So I don't know if it would like freak out, but I mean, I keep it clean, but you know, sometimes guys, it gets a little out of control. This is why I'm worried, guys, because I really do think it's coming on faster than we know, than we really think, generally. It's what I always said. I said this for years. I was like, man, I don't have to worry about robots until they can fold laundry. It basically folds laundry as well as I do. It's over, guys. It's over. Long bong. Well, that's been over for years. I think what it just showed is every Amazon, UPS, and FedEx driver's job disappearing. Right there. Oh, yeah. And the warehouse. Figured. Oh, my house is asthma go right now. But yeah. There you go. There you have it. Just one of many companies. Man, these chips are good. So, there you have it. The end is now. Or the beginning of the end, rather. But, new beginnings. So. I don't think so, Lombard, is it? I've heard they're shooting to make a lot of these robots like 10 to 20,000 bucks. It said that one's being tested in home, so I don't even know if they have a price. Let's see. Figure 3. What's the price tag? What are we looking at here? Show me the price. Blah, 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 blah. See, I don't think they have that out yet. It's got 5-hour battery. Oh my gosh. We see 3 major business opportunities in the long run. Physical labor. 50% of global GDP is human labor, $42 trillion. Consumer household. 2.3 billion households worldwide, 700 million aging population in need of at-home care. And off-world. Space exploration to build new worlds. So when I say that they are trying to cover everything. It's like, oh, what does your business do? Yes. That's what these companies are trying to do. Oh, what does your business do? Everything. Oh yeah, and I even saw one that had they showed it in different clothes. Man, they're gonna have different clothes for these things that you could purchase. They're gonna probably have ones with different capabilities, right? Girlfriend mode or whatever, companion mode will cost an extra $10 a month. Yeah, starting at 20K. I don't think these things are going to be expensive. I think they're going to try to push them out as cheap as possible. Even if they take a loss initially on them, I can't imagine it's a you buy it and it's yours. It's going to be a you buy it or you pay a lease for it. Like, you're never going to own it outright. You're always, even if you own it, for it to operate, it's going to need to be connected to the network, which you're going to have to pay a subscription for. That's what I believe. I could be wrong, but something tells me that these are going to be things that you pay on for your whole life, or as long as you have them. Long bar, and they're still going to come with ads. Oh my gosh, stop. And that's the scary part, probably. Yeah, the cheap version, that's what they're going to say. It's like, oh, you want the economic over? Oh, okay. So you get this half off. However, until you pay, you know, that other part of it off, it's just going to randomly spit out ads at you. Oh, we have resorts on the moon now. I don't know about that. I know we're working on building bases on the moon. $10,000 to $20,000, yeah. I mean, and that's just what I've heard a few people say. A few of the people in this industry saying that that's the price point they're looking for, is under 20K. Yeah, right. But for 100,000 a month or a year or whatever. I'm just gonna nag you for an upgrade. Yeah, it's gonna be hilarious, guys. It's gonna be great. There's gonna be laughing, there's gonna be crying. Hopefully not too much crying and screaming. Okay, I'm not saying I'm waiting for this like as if I'm excited about it, but we've already heard stories come out of people, you know, dying because of AI for whatever reasons, right? But AI hasn't killed a person yet, right? When we get news of the first robot having a malfunction or whatever and killing a person, and I don't mean the robot falls down the stairs and lands on a person or something. No. Like an accidental death. No. I mean, the robot is actually like, I'm going to kill this person, that kills the person. That is going to be huge. That is going to be huge. I think we're moving towards it. It's going to happen. Like, it has to happen at least one time, right? If they make millions of robots, one of those robots is going to do some crazy shit. That's going to be huge when it happens. Exactly. You don't pay, she won't play. You don't pay and she's just kind of in a mood. You're like, what's wrong? Nothing. You sure? Yeah. It's like, okay. I could see that via airship. But at that point, he's going to have to be friendly with the, I don't know, the people running the technology. Yeah, tears again in China facts. Wait, what? You said it has happened. I wouldn't mind using robots as troops if they were controlled like drones and not given an AI. Oh yeah, isn't that right? Wasn't the first actual AI kill done recently in Ukraine. I think we saw a video. It's like, what was it, like 70% of casualties in Ukraine are from drones. And I think they said they had like the first autonomous drone out there that did an autonomous kill. It went out, found somebody, and killed them all by itself. Craziness. All right. Now, I think I'm going to go into gaming and whatnot. I'm eating some Cracker Jacks. Guys, if you enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe. If you're out of here, I understand. I'm going to do some gaming. I'm gonna play some Fallout. We could chit chat, maybe listen to some music. I'm gonna try to get a little bit further in this universe, surviving the nuclear war, and try to rebuild society. All right. There's robots in this too. There's synths, so at least we get to see a little bit of the future in the game. Circle back for more news updates and all that good stuff when I get to it, which will probably be tomorrow. Yes, Leprechaun, I'm sure technically there's a lot of... We've probably already done it 20 other times, you know? You know how the news is, or how media is, so... Musk implants? Yeah, that is interesting to me. Neuralink was a big deal to me. BCIs, brain-computer interfaces. I thought those were the next big pieces of tech. Right now, I'm leaning towards AI and robotics until they get that one figured out. I still have Neuralink and BCIs up there. It's like one of my top things for changing humanity. Like AI and robotics is here. It's going to have a significant effect. It's the one that I see happening first at this point. And then BCIs is just going to take us to another world because we're going to have computers in our brain. That's just, I mean, at that point, the world is completely different. So I am interested. I just kept checking back on the Neuralink stuff and progress there, which is very slow. So I don't know when we're going to see it on a consumer level. Whereas I think AI and whatnot, AI is already at the consumer level. Robotics, I mean, you could already buy some of these robots, so that's at the consumer level. But we're not seeing brain-computer interfaces at the consumer level. At least from what I've seen. Babies in pods now. Some Brave New World stuff. That's a pretty decent poll. I'm gonna change my stream title here to reflect what we're actually doing. Oh man, this game just loves to not work. I have to start this game at least 2 times because for some reason it messes up the settings. Oh yeah, I'm crunching so hard. I've realized it. Yeah, my microphone picks up everything, so enjoy. That good old Cracker Jack. That Cracker Jack. Bear with me. I am freaking out right now. Jeez. Jeez. Okay. I think I've got it working. Sorta, kinda. Maybe. All right, beautiful. PlayStation 2, oh my gosh. I missed the PlayStation 2. And the Xbox 360. Absolute beasts. All right. So we got this girl, Piper. We got dog meat. We're doing good in that regard. We made it to Diamond City, which is really exciting.
Tell me, Diamond City Radio is terrible, yes? It makes you want to cut your own ears off.
So, what's the issue?
Have you not listened? This DJ Travis, he's terrible. Makes me want to go back in time and prevent radio from ever being invented. Vadim, it's true. Don't listen to my brother. Someone needs to get rid of him. We need a new DJ for the radio.
What?
I don't think many would notice if he, you know, disappeared.
Bro, I have never gotten this.
Are you serious?
Mission.
Did we not just agree this is serious problem? Calls for serious solution. First, you get him to follow you out of town.
Vadim,
That's
this
enough.
isn't funny.
Vadim isn't serious. He doesn't really want to kill Travis.
Okay, what's really going on here?
Sorry, we was just joking around a bit.
It's true. Only jokes. Travis is a good friend. Yefim and I worry about him.
Poor Travis, he means well, but he does not have the confidence he needs for that job or anything else.
Oh, wait, I know this one. Okay.
He's always awkward. He does not believe in himself, you see? He expects he will fail at everything, and so he does.
Well, that can always be turned around.
Exactly. This is what I'm telling Yefim. Go on, spoil sport. Go back to working. We will figure out how to help Travis. Come, you. Meet me in back room. We discuss plan.
We're drinking here?
Have a nice
Okay, we're gonna help out the The radio broadcaster.
Piper!
Hi there. You can order drinks and food here or at the bar.
Just looking.
Sure, no problem.
What'd you do this time, Vadim?
You will not believe. So, I awoke after night of fun to find myself wearing a coating of robot coolant. And nothing else.
Vadim, please, stop, now. Can I just have a beer?
What do you want, Vadim?
I am glad you are willing to help. Unlike my deadbeat brother. Travis is a good guy. He deserves better life.
I'd be happy to help.
Okay, so Travis needs to believe in himself, yes? Believe he is capable of more. You know what works well for this? A bar fight. Ever been in one?
I can hold my own, if that's what you mean.
This one's a pretty tough cookie.
Exactly what I mean. I want you to back up Travis in his first fight. I want to stage fight here in Dugout. Nothing too serious. We make sure Travis wins and feels good about himself after. I want you to be there to help make it look real. What do you think? Sound good to you?
And it sounds like it's gonna be a disaster, but I like it. Let's give it a try.
I have contacts, people I can count on. Real tough looking, but they will take a dive for mine. They confront Travis here at Dugout. You step in and give him push he needs to stand up to them. Then you and Travis take them down. Nothing gets too rough, and Travis is something he can feel good about. Simple, right? I have everything ready by 6 o'clock. Travis should be here by then. You show up, and it will go well. Promise.
Shoot.
All right, so I gotta be here at 6 o'clock. Okay. Oh, that's how I open that? Damn it. I did not know that. Okay, well, how do I wait? No, not that button. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Okay, there's a button I could click to wait. I just don't know what button it is. That's inventory. That's stats. Yo, which button is it to wait? Oh my gosh. No, screw it, whatever. I'll just sleep for 2 hours. Hey, appreciate you, Leprechaun. Take care. Get your sleep now. Appreciate you for tuning in to the Black Hole Radio broadcast. Ooh, I'm overweight. What is going on here? What am I carrying? That's probably something in my aid. Yeah, 20 potatoes. That would do it. In fact, I'm just gonna eat all of them. Move, dog. Oh my gosh.
Just don't throw up all over my floors.
Don't tell me what to do, bro. Okay. So all we should have to do now is just wait. Like, right?
Drinks! The finest liquor moonshiners can brew right here.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever, okay. It's 6 o'clock. Or it's about to be 6 o'clock.
ain't gonna last once you leave the wall, so don't get chummy.
You said I'm not gonna last? Do you know who I am, resident?
Hey.
Beat it.
Beat it? I don't think you know who I am. Never mind. Yo, at ease. Yo, where is this guy? He needs to hurry up and get over here so I can move on with my life.
Trust me. I ain't selling nothing else, so decide what you're getting.
Let's see what you have.
Ramen's fresh. Everything else.
Alright, what do we got? Is there anything I could sell you? That'd be worth getting off of my... I do have a bunch of junk, but try to drop that off somewhere. These 38 rounds. Do I have anything that uses 38s? Yeah. So I need to start actually using that.
Oh no. Whatever it is, keep it to yourself.
Appreciate you, Cheryl. You take care, get some sleep, or not sure what time it is. It is where you're at, but take it easy.
Got it?
Hey, Hawthorne.
I would love to listen to the music on here.
Hey, what's your story?
Ah, crap, but it's gonna get me
Caravan
claimed.
guard? What, you lost? I ain't a tour guide. So what's the story? Mercenary worker, caravan guard.
Wrong on both tries.
I can usually spot a hired gun on the first look. Maybe you just give off an armed and dangerous vibe.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, that's
just
me.
Speaking back and sharing stories while I'm between things. I've been all over, seen vaults, pre-war ruins, and plenty of monsters.
You've been to a vault?
Yeah. Ever heard of Vault 81? They're standoffish, but every once in a while, they'll let new people in.
Let's hear your best monster story.
I'm from Diamond City. You want to talk something really scary? It's the Institute and their synths. Don't go to University Point. Trust me, you don't want to know what they're capable of.
So you explore old ruins?
Last place I was going to check out was Salem. Real old town far to the north. Never made it, though. Got a bad feeling about that area.
See you around, Hawthorne.
Yeah, take it easy.
Are you who I've been waiting for?
Get lost.
Who are you?
What's your problem?
What's your problem? Wait, where's Travis? Wait, hold on. Where's Travis?
Ah, yes, you. Famous bobber of liquor, on tap all day.
Oh, there he is.
Hey, I mean, hi.
Listen, we're gonna make a man out of you, all right? You need to fight this man. Fight him. Oh, okay.
Hey. What's your problem?
Why are you being so mean to Travis?
Looks like you're having a disagreement.
Look at the smart guy we got.
They're not even fighting with each other.
Except if you really were smart, you'd take a hike right about now. Now get the hell out of here.
You think you're scary? Yo, you're gonna let him talk to you like this?
Oh, it's you.
Well, this whole situation looks like trouble.
I didn't start this. I have no idea what I did to deserve this. I just wish they'd go away.
Why not stand up to them?
No, I mean, no. That would be bad. With these men, it could, well, it could turn violent.
Don't worry. I've got your back.
Well, if you think it would work.
We're right behind you.
Okay.
We're gonna smoke.
Come.
Well, that's enough.
Oh, I'm sorry. You say something.
I said that's enough. Leave me alone.
Look at you. Let me think about that for a second. Nah, I don't think so.
I mean it. Leave me alone.
Sounds like you were thinking about saying, or else. Were you, Travis? Were you gonna say, or else? I'm wondering what comes after that. What you gonna do, little man?
I'll beat you up.
Big mistake, Travis. I'm gonna destroy you and your friend here.
Why am I doing this?
Oh, 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 dude, I'm about to die. Holy crap. Whoa, he throws a heavy damn punch. And I didn't realize I'm like sick and shit. Yo. Well, I guess I gotta take some medics. I'm gonna pop a jet because, you know, why not? Oh, you want that? Oh, done. Little two-piece. Look at that. All right. Wait. That was it?
You let me know if you need a drink.
Ah, God, my jaw. Bullshit, man. Just bullshit. This is bullshit, man. This is not.
Hey
This
there.
ain't over. You hear me?
Yeah, you walk away. I didn't even hit you. You're lucky I don't hit you right now. My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad. Oh, who are you shooting at? Yo, they just killed Bull. Oh, wait, he's not dead. All right, all right. You good, Bull? You good, Bull? Wow, your boy just left you.
Beat it, pal.
Look, you're lucky I don't knock you out too. Are you done? You feel better?
Get lost.
I didn't think so. All right, all right, all right. Damn, you took out a whole gun. You're crazy.
I really don't. This is why. This is why.
Okay, leave me alone. All right.
Good to see returning customers. Most die. You let me know if you need a drink.
Did I not just do a whole mission for you? I'm so confused. Did we not just do this whole mission?
Travis.
Whoa. I can't believe it. We did it.
How do you feel now?
I don't know. I mean, wow, wow. I never thought I could do anything like that. That was crazy. Wow. Hey, listen, thanks. That was, well, it was really something. I think maybe I should go lie down now.
All right. I know, I'm awesome.
Oh no. Whatever
Vadim.
it is, keep it to yourself. Better that
I
way.
think that went well. Ready for next part of foolproof plan?
Wait, next part? Wait, what?
It's not more fighting, is it?
No. This part is simple. You have seen Scarlett, yes? She has worked here for some time. Now, I am just simple bartender, but I see things. I see how Travis looks at her, and I see that sometimes she looks at him. If someone who was not her employer suggests that she go spend time with Travis, it might do him some good.
Oh, that'll totally boost his confidence. You know, as long as it doesn't backfire horribly.
So little faith, it will work. Trust me. Just do whatever it takes to get her to agree to see Travis, and this will all be worth it. And you and I.
This seems like it could be problematic.
About this, all right?
Nice pip boy.
Okay, where's Scarlett? Which one's Scarlett? Was she the one with the broom or the mop or something? Don't worry, I'm gonna... You're not who I'm talking about. I need to hook this dude up with a girl now. This is crazy. Are you Scarlett?
Just stop, okay? We got our own problems.
You know what? Where's my gun? You're lucky. You're lucky. Are you Scarlett? No, you're not Scarlett. Who is Scarlett? Convince Scarlett to meet Travis. Where? Oh my gosh. I'm playing matchmaker over here.
You have marvelous bone structure. Stop by the mega surgery sometime.
You'll get used to Diamond City security being unhelpful. Just ignore it like I do.
All right, let's hook this dude up. We just gotta get at least something done while I'm here. A little mission or two. Let's find this Scarlet person.
Excuse me. I'm done working for the day. Get lost.
Yeah, y'all really just know how to piss me off.
Alone.
Alright. Scarlet, where are you? Look at this. I low-key need some 10 mil.
Diamond City Surplus is open 24 hours a day.
Let's see what you got.
There you are.
Damn, they cost 5 per round. I mean, I'll buy like... I probably shouldn't even buy ammo like this, but... Oh, it just seems so expensive. I mean, I've got enough ammo. 308s. Wait, how do I have 12 308s? Wait, 84, 30, wait. 38s. Oh, hold on. I've got 49, 84. I might want to do 308s and energy cells. Yeah, they're considered fusion cells, right? Those cost 8, but I mean, I'm not gonna get them as often, so that makes more sense. 200 does seem like a bit of a bite. What did I say I needed? 38s? No, 308s. If I could offset that, do I not have an extra gun? I not need to spend that much.
Hey.
Where to?
Tell me you got a bunch of stuff I could trade. I think I'll give her the shotgun ammo. I still feel like I overspent.
Have the key.
Hi.
Yeah, am I that dehydrated? So dehydrated, I'm about to pass out. That did not do me much of any good. Anyway, let me not steal stuff. Let me try to find this person.
Gotta accept life on its terms, you know? Something bad happens, just say yes to it.
Am I crazy, or is this where it's telling me to go? Oh, there it is. Oh, there. That's not creepy at all. Hi, how's it going?
I'm on a break right now.
Oh, should I drink some out? Okay, let me hold up. It might be too late. I already initiated the conversation. I'm not sure if it matters, but we're gonna get a little tipsy before we talk to her.
Whatever you need to get you through the day. I'm on a break right now.
That takes our charisma up, I think.
Can I ask you something personal? It's about Travis.
Travis? Really? Did he mention me? I heard about the fight. Travis was, well, he was brave.
Yeah, I mean, I did most of the work there, but, you know, regardless. Not exactly. Stop. Don't be like that. Don't be like that.
Yeah, absolutely. You should really.
Absolutely.
You think?
He was a beast.
I mean, I've definitely noticed him. Maybe... No, I couldn't just go over there.
Oh, damn it. Okay. I don't want to mess up. I could threaten her. I could bribe her. Or I could try to we're going to do persuade. I got this.
Travis is a nice guy. I can tell that you like him. And I think he likes you. Just go talk to him.
Okay, I will.
Yes.
Thanks.
I knew it. I knew that whiskey was going to do the trick.
Hey.
All right. It's all on Travis not to mess it up.
Ken, Solomon can hook you up.
Yeah, I appreciate the plug.
Don't touch the paint.
How does that make you feel, sir?
Don't worry, I won't.
It's okay, Abbott. I got my eye on this one.
Good. The wall keeps out the bad guys, so I appreciate you not messing her up none. Thinking you need a little education. Maybe a bit of community service. What do you say?
No, but sure.
You see this paint I'm using? Only one place left in the whole Commonwealth you can get it. Hardware Town. Rune store close by to the west. Bring back a can of paint, and there'll be 100 caps in your pocket. How does that sound?
Paint retrieval. I'm on it.
Much obliged.
Yeah, Piper, you better like that. I'm a nice dude. Painting the town. Okay, cool. I guess we go back to the dugout since we just hooked up what's-his-face with the girl. What the hell are you doing sleeping out here, man?
Hey.
Wake up. Wake up. It's kind of like Ding Dong Ditch, except you just wake him up and run away. I hate to interrupt, guys, but
Break my stuff if you don't mind.
all right. Seems like everything. Why are you? Travis, what the hell is wrong with you?
Radio station. Well, you'll notice there aren't any other ones.
All right, thanks, bro.
So
I'm on a break right now.
All right, y'all are both absolutely useless and fucking awkward. But that's all right, as long as I get my caps and my prestige over at the dugout, we're good to go. All right. Why do I keep? Oh, I'm gonna. Okay, there we go.
Need new clothes? Should stop by Fallett's basement. Open during the day.
This is terrible. Oh, I knew it. I knew it. He was up to no good, and look what's happened now. You've got to help. I can't do it. You've got to help me.
What the hell do you need help with now?
What are you talking about?
I am talking about Vadim. They took him. Those men, the ones that messed with Travis, they came back. Said Vadim owed them money, that they had a deal. He wouldn't pay, and then they grabbed him and said that they would make him pay. And then they just dragged him out. You have to do something. Please tell me you can do something.
I'll bring him back, Yefim. Count on it.
Please just bring him back. He's an idiot, but he's my brother. I'd go with you, but someone has to stay here. Talk to Travis.
Yeah, sure,
Maybe he
sure.
knows where they took him.
Now I gotta talk to Travis. Oh my gosh.
Even though I'm a doctor, I admit I have a small vice. A quick drink after work.
So it turns out that's why we couldn't kill the person, is because they have a continued story. So now I gotta go talk to Travis. So lame.
Broke up with my girl. She kept the cap off the tooth.
Alright guys, I don't see a sock in the door, so we're coming in.
What's going on?
Dude, you're such a freak. Listen, I need your help. Damn it.
I need your help. Vadim's been kidnapped by Bull.
That's not funny.
I'm not joking around, Travis. This is serious. I really do need your help.
Wait. Really? Oh man, wow, this is because of what happened, isn't it? It's my fault.
What does it matter whose fault it was?
I guess maybe it doesn't matter. But getting him back does.
You're right, but you really think you're up for this?
Look, I don't really, I mean, I don't have a lot of friends. If Vadim is missing, or in trouble, or whatever, then I'm gonna help get him back.
It's probably going to be dangerous. I expect things will get ugly.
I'm not stupid. I know that. I've heard enough to know they're probably holed up at the old Beantown Brewery. We gotta go in there, show them we mean business, and then we can bring Vadim back, and everything will be okay. Right? I'll get a gun, and I'll meet you there. We'll settle this.
Oh, wow. All right. Oh my God, shut up. Well, he sounded so confident. Like, dude, if you say that one more time. Bro, I'm gonna shoot you. He sounded so confident. I should just let him do his own thing. I don't think he even needs my help. There's the hardware. Where's the place? Wait, where's the place he's talking about? I'm super confused. Oh, that place. Damn, that is a ways away. Come on, Travis. Ugh, you suck. All right. What's going on with you? I do have to start probably getting the missions done around here. Make my life a little easier. I mean, I feel like they made the game too easy, because you could literally just come up to any of these places and pick all their stuff. You'll have like a bunch of potatoes. No, they're gonna be mad if I... They're gonna be mad if I break in there. Let me not. Let me not. Let me guess, you're on break.
Please, bring my brother back.
Ever been up in the stands? Let's just say they can afford a lot of clothes.
I swear, I feel like I've slept in this bed multiple. Never mind. Never mind. They got me.
Hey, Yefim.
Glad we haven't scared you off yet. Need a room?
Yes.
Here's your money.
Room 2 is yours. Enjoy.
Get a nice sleep in. Then go help Yadim or Yafim or whoever. All right, I'm peckish from lack of food.
I can't manage this place on my own. I need Vadim.
Okay, I will go get Vadim. All right, calm down. Jeez.
Head on inside.
I have to go all the way over there, though. I don't really feel like doing that. There's the Raiders at Backstreet Apparel. That's a little closer. Fence, street sewer. Alright, screw it. I'll bite. Oh no. No, 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 no. You guys heard that? That beeping? No, 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 no. Okay, maybe it can't follow me down here, but I'm pretty sure that was the sound of a super mutant that has a bomb. The hell?
Detective. If you followed my instructions, you're alone. And well, if you aren't, I've already left. You better be alone. Well, come on in. I've put my work on display down here, and I'd very much like you to see it.
The hell?
Hello? Someone out there?
What the hell? I'm literally about to die. I think I need to take some rat away. Which is gonna suck, I know.
I want you to appreciate your surroundings, detective. I can only be myself in a place like this. Life up there is exhausting. Every day you smile at people who don't care about you one way or another because that is what you do. Down here, I really get to live. I'm happy to share it with you today, detective.
Did I just get poisoned or something? Are you serious? I don't know if antibiotics even help. Wow, what the hell? I don't know if there's anything I'm missing in here. All because I'm dehydrated. Are you serious? Wait, is this where the detective is supposed to be? Ah, shit. Okay. And of course, I find the bed right then. You know, I should have used the bed. Oh! This was the correct weapon to switch to. That's for sure.
What's the angle?
Y'all cover my back, all right? That was freaking, oh my gosh, I did not mean to hit it twice. That was amazing. Because that could have been really bad. So glad I bought that 10 mil ammo, because we are going to need it. There's gotta be a bunch of random stuff I could eat that'll just help me. The hell, he's got a bunch of cradles and stuff down here. I'm so confused. XXX. Toy alien, I'll take that. Hey, Vault-Tec lunchbox, Mr. Gutsy. Whoa, combat knife. It's a little ominous, a little ominous. Looks like there's gas. Yeah, thought so. Yeah, that was a good trap. It looks like there's gas or something. No, we're not falling for that one. I don't understand what all these X's are for. Oh, there we go.
I am getting so anxious about our meeting, Detective. You know, I think I have only ever wanted someone to know me. And really, I can't think of anyone who knows me as well as you do. I am your object of fascination, and you have become mine. It's humbling, Detective.
Person's got a collar on. Take some vodka. I don't really understand what the X's are for.
Got it.
Pepper likes when I crack things open, I guess. What's going on, XX? I don't think I see any gas. hell is going on with these mannequins? Shoot. Is right. Next. Piper. Piper. Oh yeah, that guy's gonna be a problem. Okay, you guys. No, I want him. Go down. That's right, no arms on him. Looking like a fool. Looking like a fool. Boom! Gosh, this gun is sick. Chance to stagger on hit. 42 with some 45 rounds? Okay, we're taking that all day. We're taking that all day. I don't think we have anything that uses 45s.
You say the word.
You can get the 10 mil, combat knife. Why does it weigh so much? That's so annoying. I don't really have that much ammo though, that's the thing. I'll let her hold the hunting rifle since I have the other one. All right, let's go. Holy crap, there's a whole flamer in here. Wait, what is going on out here? Whoa. Okay, we got a problem. Something just killed my dudes in like 2 seconds here. This is not good. Shit, I'm overweight too. A little bit of alcohol never hurt nobody, right?
Bring it.
Oh, I'm dead. Oh my gosh, I was thinking to myself, I really hope I get Idiot Savant for that. That's so cool. Is that blood pack? Oh no, it's not.
Blue, we're not alone here. Expected. Found them, and they do not look friendly.
It's because I'm dicking around, but that 10mm is not no joke. Oh my gosh, it'd be doing damage. Oh wait, I'm so mad. Damn it, because I died earlier. Crap, that means I dropped the 45. I'm probably not gonna get that 45. The 45 and... Okay, no, I do have this. I don't know why. I want the alien toy. Oh, the vault tech too. I want the hat.
Let me know if there's anything I can do to lighten the load, or you know, if you need anything proofread.
Gotcha. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Yeah. Oh, shit.
Hey!
I am getting so anxious about our meeting, Detective. You know, I think I have only ever wanted someone to know me. And really, I can't think of anyone who knows me as well as you do. I am your object of fascination, and you have become mine. It's humbling, Detective.
Yes.
I become addicted to alcohol. Oh, wow.
Hey, something's there. You are. Guess this is it for you.
Yeah, you get it. Yeah, you take him down, boy.
Come to that.
Good job, boy. Wait, where'd his body go? Oh, wait, I still got it. Okay, I still got it. Nice. The issue is that other one that comes out is so strong. I think it's that one. Yeah, that's a problem. Oh, yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. Okay. Well, we're gonna do some psycho. Probably some jet too. Damn. Yo, we're gonna pop another jet on that one. This guy is not taking damage like he should be. Staggered him. Staggered him. Yo! I hate to have to keep popping jet, but I become addicted to all chems. That sounds about right. Oh my gosh, of course, of course, of course. Oh my gosh, of course. Yeah, that's right. No. No. You know what? I think we did good progress today, y'all. We did good progress. I was a little tired today, so I'm not doing too much more. We've left off at a beautiful point. We're going to go fight these ghouls. Don't worry, I got explosives. I've got a bunch of stuff. I'm very excited for the next time we hop on here. I am, however, going to call it. I'm actually going to call it early tonight. I'm going to take a break. Probably come back in the morning. Catch up on some more news with y'all. And then while I'm awake, I have patience. I'm actually going to do a deeper dive into Fallout where we could actually make some progress. But hey, I think we're about to get the detective, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to go help Travis out, get his confidence built up and everything. I think we just hooked him up with a girl. And eventually we're going to go out and find our son. So appreciate you guys for hanging out. Oh my gosh. Well, I can't really see the numbers from here, but it looks like we're right. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see it from here. But we're about to be at 5,800 subscribers. I really appreciate y'all. Yeah, I'll be back either in the morning or later on, you know, tonight, and we can catch up then. Join the Discord, all the good stuff. Appreciate all the support. Until then, guys, don't get too close to the dark or to the black hole because you will be sucked in. Appreciate you. Peace. Take it easy, XX. Appreciate you. We'll do a longer session. We're gonna do a longer session tomorrow.